Live on a Friday night, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the second of a three-game series as the Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. We're going to have some fun here tonight as we're hanging out in the Grizzlies lobby. It's the fifth of 9 regular season meetings this season between the Grizzlies and Night Monsters, and it's the second of a three-game set. On Wednesday night, the Grizzlies scored a season-high 9 goals in a 9-6 victory over the Night Monsters, as Riley Connors had 2 goals and 1 assist. Reed Lepster scored 2 goals, and Danny Genev had 1 goal and 4 assists. Grizzlies didn't get a ton of scoring chances, but they certainly made them count on Wednesday. Tahoe outshot Utah 35-22, as the Grizzlies also got goals from Luke Antonacci, Mike Gillette, and Noah Gansky. Both teams got the job done on the special teams department, as both clubs were 2 for 2 on the power play. Dominic Massey got the victory in net on Wednesday as he saved 29 of 35, and Aiden Hansen-Bukata had 1 assist and was a +3 for the Grizzlies. So we'll see if Utah can make it 2 in a row over in Tahoe. It's the second of a 3-game set. Utah is 5-8-1 all-time against the Night Monsters. Well, the Grizzlies have been pretty strong offensively as of late. When we come back to the Grizzlies pregame report, we'll talk about the dominance of the Grizzlies offensive unit over the last 7 games. We're in business on a Friday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-offs in just over 10 minutes from now over at Tahoe Blue Event Center as we're hanging out in the Grizzlies lobby here in the Professional Green Studios at Maverick Center. Well, the Grizzlies have been outstanding offensively as of late. They scored a season-high 9 goals on Wednesday night in a 9-6 victory. The Grizzlies have scored 29 goals in their last 7 games. They've had some great individual performances. Reed Lepster's got 14 goals in his last 20 games as he scored twice on Wednesday. Tyler Grant, the Grizzlies captain, has 9 points, 4 goals and 5 assists in his last 7 games. And watch out for Evan Friesen. He scored a second-period power play goal on Wednesday. Friesen has 4 goals in his last 7 games. Grizzlies get back Stepan Timofeyev as he's expected to be in the lineup tonight for the first time since January 9th. That was a game in Tahoe where Timofeyev suffered an injury. Not sure if it was an upper body or lower body injury, but it does appear like Stepan Timofeyev is going to be back in the Grizzlies lineup. And, of course, since the day ended in a Y, the day of the week ended in a Y, the Grizzlies made a roster move, and it was an addition, as defenseman Sage Weinstein was reassigned to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Weinstein played in 3 games with Colorado and had 1 goal, which was his first professional goal. Weinstein might be in the Grizzlies lineup tonight wearing number 14, as the Grizzlies appear to be going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen this evening against Tahoe. 5th meeting this season. Utah is 1-3 against the Night Monsters this season. And we'll see what happens over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. When we come back, we'll go over the lineups for both teams. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Faceoffs in about 10 minutes from now as the Grizzlies are over at Tahoe Blue Event Center to take on the Night Monsters. We're not sure who the starters are yet for either team, but we do know the projected lineups for both the Grizzlies and the Night Monsters. First for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who have a record of 16, 23, and 4 in this their final hunt. Grizzlies have been a pretty good road club with a record of 13, 11, and 2. And it is a Friday, and the Grizzlies have been pretty strong on the road on Fridays this season, where they have a record of 6, 2, and 1. Getting the start in net, we believe, is going to be Dominic Bassey. It will be his 10th appearance this season. He's got a record of 3, 4, and 2 with a 3.52 goals against average and 885 save percentage. Bassey is 6'6" and 197 pounds. On Wednesday night, he saved 29 of 35 in Utah's 9-6 victory. Anson Thornton is the backup goaltender. And if you watched the Kansas City Mavericks game yesterday, former Grizzly Dylan Wells picked up a shutout as Kansas City defeated Tulsa 1-0 last night. So Dylan Wells just was reassigned from the Tucson Roadrunners to Kansas City, and he picked up a shutout in his Mavericks debut. So we believe Bassey's going to get the start in net with Thornton as the backup. Thornton last played on March 26th of 2025 as a member of the Allen Americans, and that was a game at Maverick Center against the Grizzlies. 7 defensemen on the projected lineup sheet. We're not sure about the starters, but we do know that Luke Salem is going to be paired up with Noah Gansky tonight. Gansky had a big game with 1 goal and 1 assist. Actually, we do have the starters, and it is Salem and Gansky getting the start in net defensively for the Grizzlies. That's going to be the top defensive pairing. Salem has 1 goal and 10 assists in 40 games, and Noah Gansky has 3 goals and 8 assists on the year. So we'll see Gansky and Salem get the start. We will see Aiden Hansen-Bukata lined up with Luke Antonacci. Colby Enns will be in there with Matu Boilar. And Sage Weinstein earlier today was reassigned to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Weinstein had 1 goal in 3 games for Colorado this season. In 26 games for the Grizzlies, he has no goals and 2 assists. So Sage Weinstein, we believe, is going to be in there as the Grizzlies are going to be going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. The starting forwards for the Grizzlies will include Danny Genev, who had 1 goal and 4 assists on Wednesday night. He'll be lined up with Riley Connors, who is the game's #1 star. Connors had 2 goals and 1 assist for Utah on Wednesday in the 9-6 victory. And Stepan Timofeyev is in the lineup for the first time since January 9th. Timofeyev this season in 27 games has 7 goals and 12 assists. He'll be wearing number 10. It's his first game since January 9th, which, interestingly enough, was at Tahoe Blue Event Center, where he picked up an injury where he missed about a month. And Timofeyev, who had missed 12 games for the Grizzlies, is back in the lineup tonight wearing number 10. And he'll be part of the starting lineup. As from left to right, the starting forwards are Genev, Connors, and Timofeyev. The top forward line on John Buchanan's lineup sheet from left to right is going to be the captain, Tyler Granton, with Evan Friesen and Reed Lepster. And watch out for Lepster. He's second in the league with 24 goals this season. Mikey Kolella is going to be in there with John Gillette and Yaroslav Yevdokimov. Yevdokimov had 1 assist in his Grizzlies debut on Wednesday. Henri Schreifels is going to be on a 4th line with Sean Kennedy. So that's the lineup for the Grizzlies. Scratches tonight include Robbie Stucker, Avery Winslow, Rylan Kovacevic, Luke Manning, Neil Shea, Christoph Filion, and TJ Sneath, as well as Mike Gillette. The Tahoe Night Monsters, it is retro night, and it's actually retro weekend over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. The Night Monsters are in their 2nd season of existence, and so obviously they don't have any throwback uniforms, so they are wearing a version of Team USA's 1960 uniform that they wore winning the gold. And it's a red, white, and blue jersey with red numbers in the front and it says TAH. Obviously, the first three letters of Tahoe, or as we like to say it, it's Utah minus the U. And that's what the Night Monsters are wearing tonight. Interestingly enough, it's just the jersey tops. They did not invest in the pants, socks, and gloves to go with the rest of the outfit. So it is a very much a multicolored outfit the Night Monsters are going to be wearing this evening as they begin Retro Weekend. But obviously, they're only in their second year of existence. And so they decided to go with the 1960 U.S. Olympic jersey style for their look this evening, and they might wear those again tomorrow night. Jordan Paperny's going to get the start in net for Tahoe. He stopped 13 of 21 on Wednesday, and we're not sure about their starters, but we do know to watch out for Devin Poliani, who's got 21 goals and 19 assists this season. Also watch out for Trent Zwick, who has 16 goals on the campaign. And their captain, Luke Adam, has had some success against the Grizzlies this year. Adam, in 41 games, has 11 goals and 18 assists. He has close to 100 games of NHL experience, most of them coming with the Buffalo Sabres. Also has some experience with the Columbus Blue Jackets. We'll come back and have face-off on the other side. You've been tuned into the pregame report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
It's a great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as Utah Grizzlies are over at Tahoe Blue Event Center to take on the Night Monsters in the second of a three-game series. Fifth of 9 meetings between the clubs this season, and we'd certainly love to watch some hockey live in the building. Unfortunately, we are at the mercy of this below-average camera feed, and we're going to try to do the best we can, but it is kind of like just getting a bunch of lemons in life, and we're just going to try to find a way to make some lemonade. Referee tonight is Grant Hendrick, and the linesmen are Cameron Dykstra and Austin Bove. Same goaltending matchup as what we had on Wednesday. Dominic Bassey gets the start for the Grizzlies. He'll be looking for his fourth win of the season. He'll be going up against Jordan Paperny, who's going to be looking for a bounce back as he stopped 13 of 21 on Wednesdays. The Grizzlies got a 9-6 victory. Utah's had 7 different games this season where they have scored 6 or more goals, and 6 of those 7 have come away from Maverick Center. The starting forwards for the Grizzlies are Genev with Riley Connors and Stepan Timofeyev, and it's great to have him back for the first time since January 9th. For Tahoe, their starting defensive pairing is Kalen Taylor and Nate Callan, and the starting forwards are Jake McGrew, Jake Derflinger, and Adam Pitters. Grizzlies are in a white jersey with black numbers and professional green trim. Tahoe is wearing I guess some sort of version of the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey jersey. It has the letters TAH in the front of their jersey, or Utah minus the U, as Tahoe wins the draw, and they will loft it in. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the first period. Arm is raised by the linesman, and it appears we get our first whistle with an icing 13 seconds into the game. Grizzlies are rolling with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight, as earlier today, Sage Weinstein was reassigned to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Weinstein scored 1 goal in 3 games for Colorado. Weinstein's making his 27th appearance for the Grizzlies this season. Connors will take the draw in the left circle. As we play just 13 seconds, no one's taken a shot as of yet. Grizzlies won the faceoff. Gansky moves it ahead to center ice. Genev closed the gap as the puck's over in the right corner. Now taking the puck is Riley Connors, right wing. As he gets it towards Genev behind the net, it will chip it to the left corner. As Connor skates towards the left point, now he sweeps it towards Timofeyev, who touched the puck for the first time since January 9th. Puck towards the left wing board. Salem cuts off a night monster as Timofeyev trying to get it across. Now Connors down the middle of the ice. Shot to score! Riley Connors gets his 8th of the year. And just like that, 39 seconds in, the Grizzlies take a 1-0 lead. As everybody high-fives Riley Connors near the Grizzlies bench. Connors was the number 1 star on Wednesday as he had 2 goals and 1 assist, and Connors stays red hot. Last weekend, his parents were in attendance at Maverick Center for a 3-game series against Greenville. He promised them some goals last weekend, but he's gotten the job done this week over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. So the first shot of the game turns into a Utah goal. We know that Connors will get the goal, and it's possible Genev and Timofeyev may factor into the assists. Puck goes back at center ice. Tyler Grant, the Grizzlies captain, gets it. He'll chip it to the middle of the ice. Aiden Hansen kind of chasing after it. Now Aiden AHB throws to the right wing for Grattan, who couldn't get a shot off. And the Night Monsters will clear it back to center ice. Lebster is second in the league with 24 goals this season, moves to his right. Action deep in the Grizzly zone as Antonacci rolls it along the boards as Lebster will pitch it out towards neutral ice. Now the puck goes back towards Lebster as he tried to slide it towards center ice. It's taken away by the Night Monsters, who move it ahead to the Utah blue line. Lebster will play soccer towards the middle of the ice. Now the Grizzlies cross center and throw it in as Utah makes a line change a minute and a half in as Connors is back on the ice with Timofeyev and Genev. Feed towards the near side goes awry, but no icing on the play. Colby ends on the ice. He's out there with Sage Weinstein. Weinstein in his first game for the Grizzlies in close to a month as he had spent some time in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles. As over to the right side, Brennan Kapchek just outside the circle, fires a righty shot, and it's blocked by Sean Kennedy. Kennedy wearing number 17. He's on the 4th forward line with Henri Schreifels, and they're going to be mixed and matched with a different center on just about every shift. Night Monsters out towards center ice off a skate. Now they'll slide it deep towards Grizzlies ice. Salem runs it down behind Bassey's net as Utah leads 1-0 on Riley Connors' 8th of the year. John Gillette towards neutral ice as Mikey Colella battles with a couple Night Monsters. Colella, a native of New Jersey. So is John Gillette. They're from different parts of the state. As taking the puck is Noah Gansky, who's got an A on his white sweater. Across to Luke Salem, who gets neutralized. Salem will pitch it ahead off a Colella's stick as it goes deep into the Night Monsters zone. And now Antonacci plays the puck at neutral ice, and he'll fire it back in as it will slide towards the near corner deep in the Tahoe zone. As we played about 3 minutes, Utah leads 1-0 on Riley Connors' 8th of the year as he scored from the slot. Tahoe will pitch it towards the near wing boards as Timofeyev tries to play the puck. Now Connors pushes a Night Monster, and Timofeyev comes out with it. He'll get it ahead to Genev, who gets hit at center ice. Taking the puck is Antonacci down the middle of the ice. Luke Antonacci, wearing number 3, fires towards the net and misses, but it connects towards Genev. Now starting past Connors, righty shot, and the camera operator decided to go out to lunch. Not sure where the shot ended up. As we played 3.5 minutes, puck goes back to center ice. Antonacci plays it off the boards, and he will backpedal into his own zone. According to the score bug, there's only been 1 shot so far, and that was Riley Connors delivering the goal about 44 seconds in. Actually, it was 42 seconds in. Math is hard sometimes. out to center ice as Grizzlies have it at their blue line. Ends across to Weinstein. Rink-wide feed, angle right off of Friesen's stick. The pass a little bit behind him. Tahoe gets it in. Weinstein gets hooked but keeps his balance. Puck towards the far corner. Weinstein gets it behind Utah's net to Colby who will backhand it towards the near wing boards. As Lebster back towards ends off a couple sticks. Now goes to the captain, Tyler Gratton, second-year pro out of Arizona State and Penn State. Ed to Friesen off his stick as the Night Monsters tried to drill one towards their left, and the pass is wide of the mark. Noah Gansky will push it ahead towards Schreifels off his stick. Now goes deep into the Night Monster zone. We played 4.5 minutes of this first period. Utah leads 1-0 as Boilard will move it towards the right wing. Grizzlies step over the offensive blue. Schreifels around the boards, delayed offside as Tahoe plays the puck. Night Monsters wearing a red, white, and blue jersey, red numbers, and red lettering. Now right wing lefty shot saved by Bassey as the Night Monsters towards the far corner will feed it behind Utah's net. Now the Night Monsters try to get it ahead. It hits the outside of the cage. Arm is raised by referee Grant Hendricks. Hooking's going to be the call. Who's it on? As we're going to get a power play. 5:01 into the first period. Or somebody's getting a power play. Not sure who it is. But it's obviously important that these two fans see themselves and wave towards the camera. According to the score bug, it looks like Danny Genev picked up the hooking minor, and Tahoe is going to be on the power play. Both teams are 2 for 2 on the power play on Wednesday night. This season, Tahoe's power play is 22.5%. Grizzlies' penalty kill is 77.7%. Grizzlies win the draw, and they'll slice it all the way towards Jordan Paperny, who plays the puck behind his net. Night Monsters with good team speed as they cross center ice. Brennan Kapchek, 13 assists this season. Throws to the right corner and chases after it. Gets there before Salem. Moves to the left side. Tahoe reverses it back to the right point. Night Monsters get it ahead back behind Utah's net as the puck slides along the boards. Salem delivers a blow on the Night Monsters. The puck goes towards the right wing as Tahoe dancing around with Gillette shadowing him. Up top, righty shot, and that's blocked. Now left wing, righty shot. That one kicks before it gets to Bassey. On the first shot that was taken from the high slot, a Night Monster stick broke. Now right wing, skating around the net is Kevin Wall, who's got 11 goals this season. Starting pass, shot and a score. Looks like Luke Adam was out in front of the net with Poliani, and we're tied at 1 as the Night Monsters get a power play goal 5:50 in. They attempt to show the replay on Flow Sports as Wall just slid it out in front to Luke Adam. Wall to Adam to the back of the net. Luke Adam gets his 12th of the year, and we're tied at 1. So faceoff's going to be at center ice, and special teams have certainly played a big factor so far in this series. Both teams had 2 power play goals on Wednesday in the crazy 9-6 game, and already in the first segment of play, both teams have a goal. And so it looks like we're in for another treat here this evening as Weinstein will nudge it ahead towards his left as Mikey Kallela will dump it in as Yevdokimov gets pushed along the boards. Yaroslav Yevdokimov had 1 assist for the Grizzlies on Wednesday in his Utah debut. He's wearing number 19 as Kallela throws it towards the Tahoe net, and the Night Monsters play the puck, and they'll tap it off the glass. It's the top of the glass, and then ricochets out of play near the Night Monsters bench area. 13:44 is left in the first. Grizzlies got a goal from Riley Connors, and Tahoe answered with Luke Adam on a power play. We're back in 1 minute on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Well, we're tied at 1 here early in the contest. Riley Connors scored 42 seconds in. The main assist should go to Danny Genev, but for whatever reason, the off-ice officials right now have it listed as unassisted. The off-ice officials had a terrible game on Wednesday, and it looks like they're off to a bad start tonight. Tahoe scored 5:50 in with Luke Adam getting the goal, with Walt and Callan getting the assists. And so once again, the Grizzlies are denied on the scoring sheet with assists as Tahoe iced the puck. There's 13:44 left in the first period. We do know that Genev should get his 25th assist of the year. He had 4 assists on Wednesday night, and we believe Stepan Timofeyev might be the one that should get the secondary assist, but right now it's listed as unassisted. Faceoff's going to be in the left circle, and this has been a very productive forward line for the Grizzlies with Lebster, Friesen, and Gratton. Friesen's taking the draw, and puck ends up towards the left wing, and it's lofted out to center ice. Tahoe gets the puck. They'll race over the offensive blue. Now the Night Monsters will tap it towards the right corner. Puck hits the outside of the cage. Antonacci will play it. So skeet towards the near side. Now back to the right wing. Righty shot by Pugliani. That one saved by Bassi. As we played about 7 minutes of this game, and both teams have 1 goal. And according to the score bug, Tahoe's got 1 goal on 2 shots. At one point, they had 1 goal on no shots, according to the score bug. As Tyler Gratton back behind his own net gets towards Antonacci, who will deliver it to Hans Mukata. AHB will sky it out towards center ice. There is quite a bit of altitude. In fact, I think there's more altitude than what you'd see in Colorado over in Tahoe. Over to Gansky, right side. His righty shot is blocked as the Night Monsters come back the other way. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the period. Tahoe will fire it in, but icing is on the Night Monsters as the arm is raised by the linesman with 12:35 left in the first. So 3 officials are talking it over. Looked like icing was the call. Now face-off might be at center ice. I don't know. So all the 3 officials talk things over. Grant Hendrick is the referee. Cameron Dykstra and Austin Bove are the linesmen. One of 14 games in the league tonight. Tahoe's outshot Utah 3-1. Riley Connors with the lone shot, 42 seconds in, which should be assisted by Genev and maybe Timofeyev. As we're tied at 1, Connors will take the face-off for Utah. He was the number 1 star on Wednesday with 2 goals and 1 assist. Connors had 2 goals in 9 games for the Colorado Eagles earlier this season. Connors, a first-year pro out of Yale and St. Lawrence University. Right wing shot saved by Paperny as the puck goes towards Salem. He'll get it across. Somebody off the screen takes a righty shot. Saved by Paperny as Paperny just kind of slid towards his left. And he was able to make the stop. Since Salem's on the ice, we can only guess that it was Noah Gansky that took the shot. And we do believe it was Gansky firing away from the right wing. So Grizzlies up to 2 shots as we played 7.5 minutes of this game. Grizzlies been a strong road club this season. They've got a record of 13-11-2. And Utah scored the first goal tonight, obviously, with Connors on Utah's first shot. It is the 15th time this season the Grizzlies have scored first on the road. That's 15 of the 27 road games. And for the Grizzlies, they've had 17 home games, and they've only scored first 7 times. So that's been a key to the Utah success on the road, is being able to play with the lead and get on the board first. That's what happened here tonight, but Tahoe responded with a power play goal, and we're tied at 1 about 8 minutes in. Tahoe one-hands it towards Colby Enns, who moves it ahead towards Genev. Now taking the puck down the middle of the ice is Timofeyev. He dangles back and forth, moves to the right side, righty shot. That one misses wide as Paperny slid towards his left. Now shot from neutral ice. It's kicked by Paperny. Night Monsters back along the near wing. As there's 11:49 on a moving clock in the first period, both teams have a goal. As Tahoe will dump it towards the left corner. As Weinstein in the area for Utah. Puck goes back towards John Gillette, who skates along the near wing. He throws it past Mikey Kalala. As off the board, you have Donkimov trying to play it, but it moves back to Utah ice. Off a stick, it goes back to the Night Monsters, who are wearing a red, white, and blue U.S. jersey, but instead of USA in the front of the jersey, it says TAH, which is the first 3 letters of Tahoe, or it could also be Utah minus the U. It's Night Monsters, far goal line, sharp angled shot, saved by Bassi, everybody hacking away, and Bassi's covered up in the crease. And it looks like Bit of a collision after the whistle as Blake Wells, a former Grizzly, having a strong conversation with Colby Enns, and you have Donkamov in the area as well as Aiden Hansen-Bukata. It's going to be a draw in the Grizzlies zone. Both teams are up to 3 shots, and we're tied at 1. Second of a 3-game set. Don't forget, tomorrow night's going to be an 8 o'clock start. That's going to be the final game of the road trip. Grizzlies return home on Tuesday night, February 10th, as they play the Idaho Steelheads, and that's the rescheduled game from December 26th, which was postponed due to the players' strike. And so if you had a ticket for that December 26th game, it should be good to go for the game on Tuesday, February 10th, Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads. As puck towards the near side, Grizzlies clearing out to center, and it goes deep into the Night Monster zone. Tahoe runs it down, and they'll slice along the boards. Puck's played towards right wing. Righty shot. Saved by Paperny. And he holds on as a Grizzly came in with all sorts of momentum. I think that might have been Riley Connor streaking him down the right wing. Paperny made the stop with 10:55 left in the first. So both teams really got after it offensively on Wednesday, and it looks like that just carried on here into tonight's game. It was interesting on Wednesday. The Grizzlies had 4 goals on 5 shots in the third period and 9 goals on just 22 shots. As Jordan Paperny, the Tahoe goaltender, had a rare off night. Night Monsters get the puck right goal line, lefty shot saved by Bassey. The net gets dislodged. The Grizzlies move it ahead. Now Tahoe near their bench area. As Schreifels kicks it off his skate as he tried to drop it for Kennedy, and Kennedy gets blasted by Lyndon Algier over in the left corner. Kennedy back to his feet, but he looks and checks his face, and I think Tahoe is going to pick up a penalty, as might be a high stick, as Kennedy got blasted over in the left corner, and then he ended up feeling his face a little bit, and that was a hit on that Lyndon Algier delivered on Kennedy, and Algier picked up a penalty. So he's going to the box, and Utah will be on the power play for the first time tonight. We're tied at 1 with 10:31 left in the first. Utah is 9 for 23 on the power play over their last 7 games. They were 2 for 2 on Wednesday night, and they've got a pretty strong 5-man unit on the ice. With Reed Lepster, Evan Friesen, Tyler Gratton, Danny Genev, and Aiden Hansen-Bukata. That's the party of 5 for Utah on their power play. Watch out for Tyler Gratton. He leads the Grizzlies with 13 power play points this year. 6 goals and 7 assists. Aiden Hansen-Bukata has 12 power play assists, and that leads all league rookies. AHB has the puck. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the first period. Lepster slides into the middle of the ice for Danny Genev, who drops it back for Lepster. Reed Lepster will veer off to his left, gets around Trent Zwick. Now Lepster towards the left corner of the Night Monsters zone, trying to get up top, fanned on it, and the Night Monsters clear it all the way out. So we're 30 seconds into the power play as Aiden Hansen-Bukata gets the puck. As he'll accelerate towards center ice. Now he drops it off. Grizzlies, Danny Genev, crosses the center ice right wing, steps over the offensive line with ease, skates towards the right circle, takes a lefty shot, saved by Paperny, and the Tahoe goaltender holds on to it as there's 9:46 left in the first period. Good job by Genev, who just skated towards the right circle with momentum. Kind of a tough angled shot, but Paperny was able to make the stop without a rebound. Looks like a pretty good Friday night crowd over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. There was a crowd of 2,634 on Wednesday night. Looks like more than 3,000 are there this evening. 1:15 left in the power play, as the Grizzlies appeared to have switched up skaters between whistles. Riley Connors takes a draw as he gets up top to Timofey, back to Connors in the left circle. Connors takes a righty shot, saved by Paperny. Rebound goes towards the left corner, which is the near side, and the Night Monsters will push it out to center ice. Timofeyev gets the puck back. He's playing in a game for the first time since January 9th. Noah Gansky will move it to his right. Grizzlies cross the center red line. Over to Yevdokimov. He'll drop it off for Timofeyev. Timofeyev with a left wing righty shot, saved by Paperny, as play stops at 9:17 left in the first. Good job by the Grizzlies getting creative and entering the offensive zone with a little bit of momentum, as both teams will switch up skaters. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone drawn. It's the 5 that started the power play that's back in there for Utah. Friesen will take the face-off against Adam Pitters. Pitters is 5'10", 181 pounds. Draw one by Friesen down to the middle of the ice. Genev, one-timer, saved by Paperny. As Hanson Bukata in the high slot, dancing back and forth. Now he gets to his left. Lebster back towards Genev, up top to AHB. Back to Genev, who's in the right circle. Genev, cross-ice feed to Lebster, goes tape to tape. Back up top to AHB, directs to his right. Genev, right side, he'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked. Puck hitting opposite the right point. Genev keeps it in. Hanson Bukata towards the right goal line for Grattan. Back up top to Genev. Late in the power play. To the middle of the ice for Friesen, who got a stick lifted by Kalen Taylor. Now Grattan and Friesen battle on the near goal line with a couple night monsters, and Tahoe clears it out. Tahoe will slide it deep in the Grizzlies zone, and that will do it for the power play. As Lyndon Algier will come out of the box. Grizzlies did have a couple good scoring chances on the power play. Sage Weinstein wearing number 14, the 20-year-old former WHL performer. He gets knocked down in the far corner. Arm is raised by the referee, and it's going to be another power play for Utah. As Casey Bailey, number 25, trips up Weinstein, and the Grizzlies will be back on the power play with 8:18 left in the first. We're tied at 1. Utah will get their second power play of the night as we return in 1 minute. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
We're tied at 1 as the Grizzlies are back on the power play as Casey Bailey picked up a tripping minor 11:45 in. Utah's outshot Tahoe 7-5. For the Grizzlies, Riley Connors has 1 goal and 4 shots. Danny Genev, who came into play leading the league in shots on goal with 179, he's got 2. And Noah Gansky with 1 shot as he fired away from the right point. Draw taken by Utah. Timofeyev, high slot, righty shot, and it's blocked. As puck goes to Gansky, he'll slide it towards Riley Connors. Connors in the right circle, dangling back and forth. Now Connors will skate around Tahoe's net, and he'll chip it off the boards for Timofeyev, who gets it in the left point. Back to Connors down the middle of the ice. He'll veer to his right. Connors now in the right circle, fakes a shot. He'll tap it off the boards for Gansky, who fakes a one-timer, gets Timofeyev. One-timer, glove saved by Paperny. Boy, Timo had a lot on a one-timer. Paperny made a glove save. Not sure if it would have gone high had Paperny not gloved it, but he holds on with 7:49 left in the first. So both teams will switch up skaters, and the Grizzlies will get the 5-man unit of Lebster, Friesen, Grattan, Genev, and Hanson Bukata, 4 forwards and 1 defenseman. Grizzlies been the aggressor here so far. Looks like they're playing with a ton of confidence on both sides of the ice. Utah wins the draw as Hanson Bukata gets towards Lebster. Will skate towards a high slot. Lebster moves to his right. Now gets to Genev just outside the right circle. Genev dangling back and forth across Lebster. One-timer. That one's chipped away. Maybe it may have been as much of a pass as a shot as Genev surveys. Now he directs it behind Tahoe's net. Somebody off the screen gets to Genev in the right corner. He'll feed it up top to Hanson Bukata. AHB with the blue line near his ankle. Gets to Genev. Right side, lefty shot and goes wide. And the puck deflects out of play off the protective netting as there's 7:14 left in the first. 59 seconds left in the power play. Tahoe will switch up skaters. And the Grizzlies, I believe, are going to keep the same 5-man unit on the ice. Grizzlies have been a hot club offensively as of late. They came into play with 29 goals in their last 7 games. They've also been strong on the power play as of late. Friesen will take the draw against the former NHLer Luke Adam. Draw one by Utah. Hanson Bukata over in the right point. He gets it taken away. Puck at center ice. Luke Adams got a breakaway. Skates down the middle. Adam with a lefty shot. and a blocker saved by Bassey. Big stop by the Utah goaltender as Tahoe had a breakaway shorthanded, but we're still tied at 1. Puck still alive as Genev lost control of the puck. Now he gets it back. Genev near the Grizzlies bench will slide it to the middle of the ice for Lebster. Reed Lebster dancing back and forth as he'll slide it towards his right. Grizzlies cross center ice. Hanson Mukata will whip the puck around the boards as Genev kicks it back behind Tahoe's net as the Night Monsters will clear it out to center ice. HB took it away as Michael Leary tried to put a move on him. 13 seconds left in the power play. Lebster just outside the left circle. Now he's at the left point. He gets to Grattan left goal line. Grattan gets to Friesen lefty shot. Saved by Paperny. Rebound goes towards the right wing. Gansky feeds to the right goal line as Tahoe's out of the box. And coming fresh out of the box, they lift Gansky's stick, and it was Casey Bailey as Utah is now 0 for 2 on the power play. Salem out to neutralize as Kennedy gets back checked, but Kennedy does a bit of a half circle, cross the center ice, steps over the offensive blue, gets around one Night Monster. Kennedy looked for a centering pass out in front as it went wide of Schreifels. What a move by Sean Kennedy to create his own scoring chance out of virtually nothing. Bailey will tap it off the boards. It goes to center ice. Gansky will fire it back in as Mikey Colella. Over there was Schreifels. They play the puck with 2 Night Monsters. Now Schreifels gets back to Kennedy in the right circle. Kennedy didn't have much of a shooting angle, so just bouncing off the Tahoe end boards. Now Kennedy trying to find a cutting Schreifels. Puck goes back towards Kennedy. Now Tahoe takes it away, and they'll pitchfork it out to center ice. Colby Enns will wheel it around the boards with 5:18 on a moving clock in the first period. We're tied at 1. Grizzlies scored on their first shot of the night with Riley Connors 42 seconds in. Tahoe got a power play goal about 5 minutes in from Luke Adam. Adam had a breakaway on Utah's second power play, and Dominic Bassey made a big-time blocker save. Night Monsters throw it back in as Weinstein gets dragged towards the boards. Now right wing, Tahoe dancing her back and forth. They get towards the right corner. Derflinger loses control, make that cap check. He'll get it back up top. Night Monsters get it to Anthony Collins. Right wing, righty shot. Glove saved by Bassey, and he will hold on. 4:46 is left in the first as Bassey made the save about waist high. Time out of the ice. We're still tied at 1. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone when we come back. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account.
Four minutes, 46 seconds left in the first period. We're tied at 1. Looks like some Grizzlies fans made the trip out to Tahoe. Nadine Hellowell is over cheering on the Grizzlies. Riley Connors will take the draw, and he wins it. Connors wins his own faceoff, races out towards center ice. Connors, a man possessed here. He's got at least 4 shots on goal tonight, and he has 1 goal. He's been outstanding this weekend over in Tahoe. Night Monsters cross center ice wearing a red, white, and blue jersey as Luke Adam, who has 1 goal tonight and had a breakaway, looking to make it 2. And he was denied by Bassey on Utah's power plays. Right wing, righty shot, and that one gets deflected on towards Bassey, who just covers up at the near goal line. He holds on with 4:18 left in the first. If you joined us late, the 2 lineup changes tonight saw Stepan Timofeyev return to the lineup for the first time since January 9th. He's a +1 and has 1 shot for Utah so far. And Sage Weinstein earlier today was reassigned to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Weinstein doesn't have any stats as of yet, as he's one of 7 defensemen on John Mechanic's lineup sheet tonight. Friesen will take the draw, but it's won by Tahoe. Will race towards the right corner. Now it kicks off Utah skate right side. Righty shot saved by Bassey. As puck kicked off a skate on towards Devin Poliani. Poliani fired away, but Bassey made the stop with 4:11 left in the first. Devin Poliani, somebody to watch out for on the Tahoe side. He had 1 goal on Wednesday. He's got 21 goals this season. Also has 19 assists as he has 40 points to lead all active Tahoe Night Monsters. Face-off won by Utah in their own zone as Gansky behind his own net delivers some lumber to a Night Monster as Tahoe tries to break free of Gansky as they'll fire it off the right wing boards. Now back towards the left side. Lefty shot and it's blocked. Evan Friesen gets the puck. Grizzlies have a 3-on-2. Friesen over towards Lebster. Lebster cross ice to Grant, but the pass behind him a little bit as it chipped off his stick, and the Night Monsters will clear it back towards the Utah blue line. Salem ahead to center ice as Friesen will loft it towards his right. Now Lebster skates towards the right circle with momentum. Lebster, tried to go through the front door and kicked off a Paperny. Night Monsters come back the other way as they cross center ice, but Utah takes it away, and they'll dump it back in. Paperny plays behind his net. He has saved 9 of 10 so far for the Night Monsters. He saved 13 of 21 on Wednesday. Tahoe throws it towards the left corner. Weinstein delivers a hit. We have seen Sage Weinstein improve from game to game as a member of the Grizzlies. He played in 3 games with Colorado over the last month. Night Monsters from the left wing as their shot gets blocked. Grizzlies try to get to center ice, but the pass is behind a Grizzly and it goes all the way down for a Utah icing with 3:03 left in the first. During the first intermission, we'll go over some scores from around the world of sports. There's 13 other games in the league tonight. We'll go over those scores. Yesterday, the Kansas City Mavericks got a 1-0 victory over the Tulsa Oilers, and goaltender Dylan Wells, making his Mavericks debut, picked up a shutout. So that's certainly fun to see. I think we knew that Dylan Wells was slated to have a big second half of the season, but Tucson pulled him from Utah and sent him to Kansas City, and he picked up a shutout last night. Connors rolls it along the boards. Puck goes to center ice and all the way down. Icing is waved off, although it looked like the arm was raised by the referee. Not sure if it was for a delayed penalty or a delayed offside. As the referee had his arm raised, as the Night Monsters, now he's dropped his arm, so just for a delayed offside. As the Night Monsters over the offensive blue, but they lose the puck. Grizzlies fire it to the center ice logo as Tahoe re-enters. Lyndon Algier, he hits a Grizzly up high as Antonacci lost his stick, but no call. As puck slides the center ice off a Tahoe stick, Night Monsters re-enter from the right wing. As Tahoe gets around Handsome Yukata, now arm is raised by the referee. There's going to be a penalty on the Grizzlies. As Timofeyev plays the puck at the center of the ice, and the whistle blows with 2:14 left in the first. And so it's going to be a Tahoe power play as Timofeyev argues the case, but it looks like he's the one that's picked up the penalty. So it will be the Night Monsters' second power play of the first period. And we would have loved for the camera to have shown who's going to the box and maybe give us a signal as to what the penalty is or anything of that nature. But nevertheless, it does look like it's going to be a Tahoe power play. Still looking for the details as to who's going to the box and what they're going to the box for. Boy, they're picking up something there. Luke Salem picked up something. I hope that's not somebody's teeth. But it did look like they had to pick up something. 2:14 left in the first. Special teams have certainly played a big factor in this series. Both clubs were 2 for 2 on the power play. Grizzlies have had 2 power plays so far, and even though they've really done a good job working the puck around on both power plays, didn't come up with any goals. And now we're just waiting. The puck is now laying on the near circle, and for some reason there's a little bit of a delay. Just not sure what the delay would be for, but nevertheless, looks like some fans are having a good time as they see themselves on the video board. Does look like there are some Grizzlies fans in attendance. As looks like Timofeyev is going to skate towards not the bench, not the penalty box, but Timofeyev looks like he's going to the locker room. a 5-minute penalty according to the score bug on Timofeyev. I wonder if he picked up a major. So Timofeyev is in there for the first time since January 9th, is shaking his head. I think he might have gotten the gate. They might have given a 5-minute major power play to the Night Monsters, and Timofeyev might have gotten a game misconduct. Well, we'll have to check the box score on the ECHL app. According to the box score, they say Timofeyev got a match penalty for slew footing. So it's going to be a 5-minute major power play for the Night Monsters, and Timofeyev gets a match penalty for slew footing, according to the box score on the ECHL app. So Stepan Timofeyev, who's appearing in a game for the first time since January 9th, appears to be headed for an early shower. So, of course, on a major power play, Tahoe can score as many times as they want during this 5-minute stretch. But remember, there is just 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first period, so it won't be 5 continual minutes necessarily because you have the intermission. So it'll be kind of like, 2 separate minor penalties if you kind of look at that 18-minute stretch as being enough time off. One-timer from the left circle, and that's blocked by Bassey as both teams have taken 10 shots. Grizzlies will clear it to center ice. The puck will slide past the Tahoe defenseman as there's 1:52 on a moving clock in the first period, as Timofeyev has 4 minutes and 34 seconds left on a penalty as he picked up a match penalty for slew footing according to the box score on the ECHL app. Tahoe gets to the left goal line. Now back up top. Tahoe dances around to get it towards the left wing as they'll kick it off the Grizzly skate. As Kevin Wall, who's got 1 assist tonight, trying to feed it back to the corner that he vacated. Hanson Mukana clears it back out. Night Monsters will switch up skaters, and we believe off the screen the Grizzlies will do so as well. 1:17 on a moving clock, first period, as we're tied at 1. Tahoe out to center ice. Now down the middle, they chip it towards our left. Night Monsters get it back up top off a cap check stick. Danny Genev gets the puck. He races towards the right wing. Genev drops it for Lebster. Back to Genev. Right wing lefty shot goes just wide as he had a pretty tough angle that he was shooting on as he missed the net. 53 seconds left in the first period. Grizzlies do have 5 shorthanded goals this season as Gansky's at the Utah blue line. Now backpedal and kill a little bit of time as he'll slide one across to Salem. Salem will fire it all the way to Paperny, who collects it in front of the crease and keeps the play alive. 36 seconds left on a moving clock in the first period. We're tied at 1, but the Grizzlies may be down to 10 forwards if Timofeyev, in fact, is out for the rest of this game with a match penalty. As Tahoe fires it in. Bassey behind his net collects it. He'll chip it over the head of Weinstein as the Grizzlies throw it up and not out. Tahoe will fire it back around the boards. 15 seconds left in the period. Hanson Bukata holds up a Night Monster. Friesen looking nearby. Weinstein joins the play. Night Monsters get it towards the right wing. Trent Zwick, lefty shot and a score. Zwick found Bassey off balance, and he fired it over Dominic Bassey's right shoulder. And with 5.1 seconds left in the first period, the Night Monsters take a 2-1 lead. Both of Tahoe's goals have been scored on the power play. And with this being a major penalty, they stay on the power play for the next 2 minutes and 51 seconds. As Trent Zwick was just kind of hanging out in the right wing. He just fired it stick side past Bassey. As Bassey tried to kind of extend his right pad out to try to cut it off, but Zwick was able to roof it over the right shoulder of Dominic Bassey. So it's a 2-1 Tahoe lead. And obviously with the major power play, Tahoe is still on the man advantage for the next 2 minutes and 51 seconds. But obviously there are just 5 seconds left in the frame. Grizzlies win the draw as Gansky will fire it off the boards. The puck will squib towards Jordan Paperny, and that will do it for 20 minutes over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. As the Grizzlies scored first 42 seconds in as Riley Connors got his 8th of the year. The Night Monsters responded with 2 power play goals. Luke Adam found the back of the net. 5:50 in. And then Trent Zwick scored 19:55 into the first period. So both teams led to the locker room, and the Night Monsters will be on the power play for the first 2 minutes and 46 seconds of the second period. After 20 minutes of play, it's the Utah Grizzlies 1 and the Tahoe Night Monsters 2. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
After one period over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, the Grizzlies trail 2-1. I'm Tyson Whiting. The Grizzlies scored in their first shift of the game as Riley Connor scored 42 seconds in. Right now, according to the ECHL box score, that's an unassisted goal, and if that's an unassisted goal, I am Martin Van Buren. I believe that Danny Genev should pick up one of the assists, which would be his team-leading 25th of the year, and Stepan Timofeyev probably should pick up the other assist, but we never did get to see a replay after the goal, and right now it's listed as unassisted. Riley Connors 42 seconds in as Connors picked up his third goal of this series. Tahoe got a power play as Danny Genev got a hooking minor, 5:01 in, and the Night Monsters capitalized on the power play as Luke Adam got a centering pass from Kevin Wall, and Adam put it away 5:50 in. It's his 12th goal of the year. Kevin Wall and Nate Callan picked up the assists. And then the Night Monsters got a major power play as Stepan Timofeyev picked up a match penalty for a slew footing, 17:46 in. And the Night Monsters scored, right now it's listed as 19:56, and there was 5 seconds left in the period. Trent Zwick got his 17th of the year, and Devin Poliani and Adam Pitters picked up the assists. So that made it a 2-1 game, and that's where we sit after one period. Night Monsters power play continues for the first 2 minutes and 46 seconds of the second period. Shots in the first frame, Utah had 11 and Tahoe had 9. Of the 11 shots the Grizzlies had in the first period, Riley Connors had 4, Noah Gansky and Danny Genev had 2, and then 1 shot each for Timofeyev, Evan Friesen, and Reed Lepster. Dominic Bassey stopped 8 of 10 in net. And Jordan Paperny for Tahoe, he saved 10 of 11. Special teams have certainly played a big factor here tonight. Grizzlies are 0 for 2 on the power play, but they did get some good scoring chances in each of their 2 power play opportunities. Tahoe had 1 big opportunity, shorthanded, as Luke Adam had a breakaway, and Dominic Bassey made a nice blocker save to deny Adam. At that point, the score was tied at 1. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, early in the second period, the Grizzlies are going to have to do a job on the penalty kill, as Tahoe right now, have scored 4 power play goals in this series. So we'll see what happens in the next 20 minutes. It is retro weekend over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. Now, how do you do a retro weekend if you're only in your second year of existence, as the Night Monsters are? Well, you could either do what your throwback jersey would have looked like had the Tahoe Night Monsters existed in, say, the 1970s or the 1960s or something like that, and try to come up with something as to what you believe the Night Monsters uniform would look like had they existed back 40 years ago. But they decided to go with kind of a version of a 1960s. In fact, it'd be the 1960 U.S. Olympic hockey team that ended up winning gold. So right now they've got that sort of themed jersey, red, white, and blue, with the letters TAH, the first 3 letters of Tahoe, horizontally in the front of their jersey, or as we like to say, it's Utah minus the U. But nevertheless, it is a pretty sharp look. But they didn't have the gloves and jersey or gloves, the pants, the socks to match. So it's kind of a mix and match kind of outfit that the Night Monsters are wearing this weekend. It's one of 14 games in the league tonight. And when we come back, we'll go over the other Mountain Division scores as well as the other scores across the league. No NHL games, obviously, as they have begun their Olympic break. And so with that, no NHL games for the next couple weeks as teams like the Utah Mammoth lose a little bit of that momentum, as the Mammoth obviously had a very successful month of January. So with the Olympic break, obviously people are getting into the Olympic spirit, and that's part of the theme of what the Tahoe Night Monsters are wearing this weekend. Obviously the American Hockey League and the league the Grizzlies call home will be in action for the next 3 weeks to keep hockey fans occupied, along with all the exciting Olympic action, as obviously we'll be rooting for Team USA over the next 2.5 weeks. When we come back, we'll go over other league scores and also check in on other scores from around the world of sports. After one period over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, it's the Night Monsters 2 and the Grizzlies 1. We're hanging out in the Grizzlies lobby just outside the Professional Green Studios, and we're just trying to have some fun as we watch this below-average camera feed, and we're just trying to have some fun, because if we don't have fun, then we're just going to not have a very good time. But Grizzlies are looking to make it 2 in a row as they won 9-6 on Wednesday. But they have a little bit of an uphill battle. They'll be down to just 10 forwards with Timofeyev getting the match penalty. And the Grizzlies will be looking for a comeback as they trail 2-1 after one period of play. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
After one period over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, Grizzlies trail 2-1. There's one other game in progress in the league, and it is played at Idaho Central Arena as Greenville and Idaho are tied at 3. Greenville got a first period goal from Patrick Berg and second period goals from Wade Murphy and Dante Sheriff. Idaho got first period goals from Ty Pelton-Bice and Mason Nevers, and a second period goal from either Chris or Charlie Dodaro. And so that's an interesting one tonight. The Swamp Rabbits were at Maverick Center for a 3-game set last weekend, and the Idaho Steelheads are the next opponent at Maverick Center for the Grizzlies, and that's going to be on Tuesday night. And remember, that's the makeup of the postponed December 26th game, the day after Christmas, which was postponed due to the player strike. And so it's going to be an interesting, rare Tuesday home game for the Grizzlies. That's going to be February 10th. Make sure to get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. And if you didn't have a ticket for that December 26th game, I believe it's good to use for the game on Tuesday. So that's an interesting one over at Idaho Central Arena. Greenville and Idaho are tied at 3 after 2 periods. Other finals across the league. Allen got 3 goals from Colton Hargrove as they defeat Norfolk 5-2. Allen only had 25 shots on goal, but they made it count as the Americans get a 5-2 victory over the Norfolk Admirals. Rapid City defeats Wichita 3-2 as Rapid City got goals from 3 different players. Jay Dickman and Spencer Blackwell found the back of the net for Wichita as the Rush get a road victory 3-2 over at Intrust Bank Arena. Kansas City defeated Tulsa 3-2 is the final score there. Last night, Dylan Wells picked up a shutout for the Mavericks in his Kansas City debut. Tonight it was Logan Turnus getting the start for Kansas City, and he stopped 28 of 30. And the Mavericks come away with a 3-2 victory over Tulsa, as Kansas City's record on the season goes to 34-8-1-1. As the Mavericks have been a juggernaut, even though the Grizzlies played them pretty tough earlier this season. And for Tahoe, it's been a big struggle as their record falls to 12-27-3. Fort Wayne scores a touchdown and kicks the extra point as they defeat the Iowa Heartlanders. 7-2 the final over at Memorial Coliseum. Cincinnati defeats Toledo 5-3. King had 2 goals for the Cyclones in their victory. Maine over Orlando 6-3. Indy gets a 3-2 shutout win over the Wheeling Nailers. Shootout game winner was scored by Jaden Joseph, as Indy went 2 for 3 in the shootouts. Atlanta gets a 4-3 victory over Jacksonville as Ryan Francis scored the OT game winner 146 in, as the Atlanta Gladiators continue to stay red hot as their record is now 30-10-1 on the season. So they have won 30 of their first 41 games this year. Adirondack defeats Trois Rivières 5-3. Savannah over Florida 4-2. As Savannah gets a home victory, as their record goes to 23-17-2-1. Florida falls to 26-12-5-1. Bloomington defeats Kalamazoo 5-2. Bloomington will be at Maverick Center next week for a 3-game series against the Grizzlies. That's going to be February 13th, 14th, and 16th. Bloomington's got a record of 22-16-2-2. One other final, Reading defeats Greensboro 5-2. As Reading picks up their 25th victory of the year, actually their 24th win, the record goes to 24-17-4. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side, as Utah will be shorthanded for the first 2 minutes and 46 seconds of the second period after Stepan Timofeyev picked up a match penalty for slew footing late in the first period. Utah did get a goal from Riley Connors, who so far in this series has 3 goals and 1 assist. We have had 4 periods so far over at Tahoe Blue Event Center this week, and the Grizzlies have outscored the Night Monsters 10-7. So we've seen a ton of crazy action in the first 4 periods of this series. We'll see if a little bit more defense gets employed in this second period, as both teams have done a great job of capitalizing on their scoring chances. Not only Wednesday night, but they've done a good job tonight capitalizing on chances as well. We'll come back and have second period action on the other side. You've been tuned into the Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Grizzlies trail 2-1 heading into the second period. Don't forget that next week the Grizzlies will have a 4-game homestand Tuesday, February 10th will be the makeup game from the December 26, 2025 postponed game against the Idaho Steelheads. That's going to be a 7 o'clock start. Friday, February 13th will be at 7:10. It'll be Friday the 13th, and so we know there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff happening next Friday as Grizzlies begin a 3-game series against Dryden McKay and the Bloomington Bison. Grizzlies will have a home game on Valentine's Day, and I can't think of a better way and a better, how do you spend Valentine's Day? You find your significant other. If you don't have a significant other, I guess you can maybe find one at the game. But nevertheless, 8 days from now, Valentine's Day, the Grizzlies will have a home game, and hey, do I need to say anything else? That's a perfect spot to spend your Valentine. And remember, the NHL is not in action, so you can't go to a Utah Mammoth game that night. You can come to a Grizzlies game on Valentine's Day, and, if the date doesn't work out, don't blame us. But nevertheless, that should be a ton of fun as Valentine's Day, the Grizzlies do have a home game. And then Monday, February 16th will be a special 3 o'clock start as the Grizzlies conclude the 3-game series with the Bloomington Bison. We'll come back in 1 minute and have second period action as Utah picked up a first period goal from Riley Connors. Danny Genev and Stepan Timofeyev should pick up the assist, but right now it's listed as unassisted. Tahoe with 2 power play goals in the first period. Luke Adam and Trent Zwick found the back of the net. We'll come back and have second period action on the other side. It's the first intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from Les. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from Les.
We're about set for second period action as the Grizzlies are looking to tie it up. Remember, Utah does have 5 shorthanded goals this season. They're going to be shorthanded for the first 2 minutes and 46 seconds of the second period. Both teams had good scoring chances in the first period. Obviously, Wednesday night was a very high-scoring affair with Utah winning 9-6. The Grizzlies had 9 goals on 22 shots, and just about every good scoring chance found the back of the net. Grizzlies got off to a quick start scoring in their first shift of the game, 42 seconds in. Tahoe hasn't done a whole lot 5-on-5 as both of their goals have been scored on power plays. Tahoe's got 4 power play goals so far in this series. They'll put 20 minutes on the scoreboard clock as the Grizzlies are now rolling with 17 skaters, 10 forwards, and 7 defensemen. If you joined us late, defenseman Sage Weinstein was reassigned to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Weinstein has an NHL contract with the Colorado Avalanche, and he is in the lineup tonight. The Grizzlies will start the second period with a forward line of Reed Lepster and Tyler Gratton. We can't see the defensemen there on the ice due to this remote feed. We do ask for a ton of patience, as unfortunately this camera feed is a little bit below average. Luke Salem is one of the 2 defensemen. Off the draw, Reed Lepster skates towards a far circle, and his shot is blocked. Lepster is second in the league with 24 goals this season. As the Night Monsters skate from right to left as we attempt to see the game, Grizzlies from left to right. Luke Adam will tap it towards the left circle as the Night Monsters. Now the arm is raised by the linesman, by the referee, as they've called a slash. Who's it on? Luke Adam looks like he's very upset, as looks like the Tahoe captain's picked up a penalty. Luke Adam can't believe it. He is incredulous. He is in disbelief. He has some words that we can't repeat towards Grant Hendrick. So it's a 2-minute penalty, and so we'll skate 4-on-4 for 2 minutes as there's 19:36 left in the second period. Luke Adam, the former NHLer, he played in 90 NHL games, 87 of them with the Buffalo Sabres, and he also had 3 games with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Adam, who's currently in the penalty box, the Tahoe captain, was a second-round pick, 44th overall by the Buffalo Sabres back in 2008. So Grant will take the draw. He's out there with Lebster, Antonacci, and can't see the other defenseman as Tahoe wins the draw. The Grizzlies have been pretty strong in 4-on-4 situations, utilizing their speed. Grizzlies have scored one 4-on-4 goal this year, and they haven't allowed one as of yet. Antonacci gets it towards Hanson Buchanan, back to Antonacci, as Antonacci will loft it towards Lebster, gets it off the near wing boards. Back deep in the Grizzlies zone, Antonacci plays the puck wearing number 3. He certainly made a strong first impression to Grizzlies fans as he's got 2 goals in 7 games, displaying a ton of speed and playmaking ability. Puck goes back to Tahoe. They're in their own zone as they spread the ice and slow it down just a little bit. As we played 1 minute of this second period, up ahead to the right wing, righty shot, saved by Bassey, and he'll keep the play alive by getting it towards Reed Lebster. Make that John Gillette. Gillette gets it taken away. Kevin Wall, right side, his righty shot is wide. Arm is raised by the referees. I believe Gillette picked up a penalty as he might have hooked Kevin Wall before he took the shot from the right circle. Night Monsters cross center ice. Now they step over the offensive blue on a delayed penalty as the Night Monsters feed it to the middle of the ice. It's played by Utah, and that stops play with 18:28 left in the second. So John Gillette's going to go to the box. Not sure if we're going to get the referee signal. It looked like a hook as he was towards the right circle, just trailing the play as Kevin Wall had the puck, and Gillette just kind of tried to move Wall's arms and make sure just to make sure he couldn't get a shot off, and I believe that's where the call was made. Looked like Yevdokimov is in the box representing Stepan Timofeyev. So it looks like a 4-on-3 power play for Tahoe for the next 52 seconds. And then Luke Adam will come out of the box, and then we'll just figure it out as we go along. But right now it's a 4-on-3 power play for Tahoe as it's a 2-1 Night Monsters lead. As Brendan Kapchek's got the puck, he'll move it towards the left circle. As Poliani switches places with Kapchek over to the right wing, one-timer goes wide. Puck will rim along the near wing all the way towards Jordan Paperny, the Tahoe goaltender, as he drops it up. Brendan Kapchek plays the puck. We're about 2 minutes into the second period. Tahoe leads 2-1. As the Night Monsters back in neutral ice, bobble the puck, and it's taken by Evan Friesen. Friesen will slice it towards Paperny, and Paperny plays behind his net. Both teams have 11 shots on goal. Tahoe allows 38.6 shots per game, and they're towards the middle of the pack in terms of shots for. As the Night Monsters, they outshot the Grizzlies 35-22 on Wednesday night. Back towards Poliani, one-timer saved by Bassey, and he holds on as there's 17:31 left in the second period. Coming out of the box is Luke Adam, and so it appears for 17 seconds the Night Monsters will have a 5-on-3 power play. But remember, that ends the major penalty with Timofeyev, as he's in the locker room right now, so he got a match penalty for slew footing. And John Gillette has 1 minute 3 seconds left in his penalty. So the draw won by Tahoe. As Night Monsters towards the middle of the ice, Poliani will slide it towards the right side, back to Poliani. One-timer goes wide as he missed the net, stick side on Bassey. As there's 5 seconds left in the major power play. As the Night Monsters get it up top. As Bailey feeds towards the right side, now back towards the left, now back to the right wing. Night Monsters slide it towards the right goal line as they try to feed it cross crease, and it's picked off by Bassey, who covers up. So now we're skating 5-on-4. 40 seconds are left in the John Gillette penalty, we believe for a hook. As there's 17:08 left in the second period. Second of a 3-game series. Don't forget that tomorrow night will be the series finale. Face-off will be at 8 o'clock. Tahoe swept Utah in a 3-game series from January 9th through the 11th. And obviously Utah got on the board for a victory against Tahoe on Wednesday night, 9-6. Utah is 5-8-1 all-time against Tahoe. Grizzlies win the draw as Colby ends back in his own zone, far corner. Now he gets it head towards Reed Lebster. Lebster will race out to center ice. Now he veers off to his right. He'll pitch it towards Gratton. Gratton right wing, backhand shot, saved by Paperny, and he holds on as there's 16:54 left in the second. But the Grizzlies did a good job utilizing the transition game Got Reed Lebster out in space, dropped it towards Granton, who fired a backhand shot from the right wing that Pugliani made, that Paperny made the save on. So faceoffs game in the right circle. Tyler Granton will take it. As drawn one by Tahoe. It's been a strong 7-game stretch for Tyler Granton, who has 4 goals and 5 assists in his last 7 games. Night Monsters over the offensive blue line as they skate from right to left in the period. As puck slides towards the left corner, it's taken by Lebster, and he'll chip it all the way out. 5 seconds left in Gillette's penalty. As John Gillette, the first-year pro, at a holy cross, will come out of the box. Now we're skating 5-on-5 as it's still a 2-1 game. As Kevin Wall drops it, and he got it towards Pitters, now just outside the left circle. Puck goes back to center ice, and it's chipped in by the Night Monsters. Puck up the ops towards Utah's backboard. As Hanson Mukanda was playing the puck, everybody stopped skating. As not sure if there was a penalty away from the whistle, but the draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone. So there's 16-13 left in the second. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We know there's a lot of sports and entertainment options out there. Thanks for choosing the Grizzlies in their battle with Tahoe. We do apologize that we're not as descriptive as we'd love to be in the game calls. Unfortunately, we're at the mercy of a camera feed that is pretty wonky at best. As out towards center ice, Tahoe enters. They're wearing a Team USA 1960 themed jersey. As back towards the right wing, you have Donkamov. Pushed it up but not out. Tahoe will bounce one towards the left wing boards. Loose puck taken by the Night Monsters. As Antonacci and Hanson Mukanda in the area. Antonacci skates behind Utah's net as he gets pushed to the ice. Riley Connors gets it back towards AHB. Hanson Mukanda out to center ice with a right wing feed out to Genev. Danny Genev over the offensive blue as he dropped it behind his back looking for Hanson Mukanda, but it was over the lead for AHB. Tahoe comes back the other way. Adam Pitters over the offensive line over to the right wing as Tahoe tried to center it. The Grizzlies picked it off, and they'll clear it all the way out. Brennan Kapchek runs down and gets the loose puck. He used to play for the Newfoundland Growlers, where he was a teammate with Neil Shea. Head towards the left wing, looking for Trent Zwick off his stick. Grizzlies will tattoo it off the glass as the puck will bounce at center ice. Connors will get it towards Weinstein. Sage Weinstein, he'll skate towards left corner, look to center towards Connors, and it looked like Connors got a stick lifted as he was trying to accept the pass from Weinstein. Tahoe enters from the right wing. It's Night Monsters, chip it towards the middle of the ice. A bit of a collision near Bassie. Mikey Colella in the area as Night Monsters get it back up top to Kapchek. He'll fire it across off the boards. Grizzlies get it as Weinstein will move it ahead, but it goes all the way down for a Utah icing as play stops with 14:44 left in the second. With Sage Weinstein returning to the Grizzlies, they are now up to 6 players that have contracts with either AHL or NHL teams. Grizzlies have 4 players who have AHL contracts with the Colorado Eagles. And those are Riley Connors, Evan Friesen, Rylan Kovacevic, and Neil Shea. 1 player's got an NHL contract with the Utah Mammoth, and that's the backup goaltender tonight, Anson Thornton. And Sage Weinstein's got an NHL deal with the Colorado Avalanche. Puck is lifted out of play as the Grizzlies were trying to clear it out. I believe it did tap off the glass, so no delay of game penalty. As there's 14:37 left in the second period. Kind of interesting to see the shot count in this series. You know, Tahoe allows 38.3 shots per game. In fact, on average, the Night Monsters have been outshot by about 6.5 per game. However, Tahoe had a 35-22 edge in the shot count on Wednesday, and tonight it's been pretty close to even throughout. Right now, according to the score bug, Tahoe's got 13 shots, and the Grizzlies have 12. Mikey Colella, number 96, gets it head to Kennedy. Both guys played in the SBHL earlier this season. Noah Gansky backhands it in. In fact, Colella played in 1 game in the SBHL before taking some time off before the Grizzlies signed him. As Tahoe, rink-wide feed, angle right, goes all the way down for an icing. As the passing hasn't been quite as crisp on either side tonight. 14:16 left in the second period. As Tahoe still leads 2-1. Tahoe came in with the record of 23-17-2-2. They're currently in 3rd place in the Mountain Division. They are 2 points ahead of Allen. However, Allen got a victory against Norfolk tonight, so right now Tahoe and Allen are tied with 50 points each. But the Americans have played in 43 games. This is the Night Monsters 45th, so Allen does have a better point percentage. As Night Monsters out towards center ice, as they'll dump it in. Luke Adam on the ice, the 35-year-old former NHLer. As the puck goes towards the far corner, as Boilar will pitch it ahead. Grizzlies out to center ice. Taking the puck is Evan Friesen, and he'll tap it into the right corner as he'll skate along the right wing boards, getting around Kalen Taylor. Now the puck to the left corner is Lepster and Gratton as the puck goes behind Tahoe's net. The Night Monsters get it as Tahoe tried to brush it ahead. It's taken away by Friesen over to Lepster. Lepster around Tahoe's net. He's now on the left wing, takes a righty shot, and it goes just wide. Puck will trickle past Hanson Bukata, who will run it down to the Utah blue line. We played about 6.5 minutes of the second period. It's still a 2-1 game. Boy, Lepster had a pretty good look there a few seconds ago and just looked like he missed the net on Paperny. Grizzlies drive it back in along the far wing boards as puck goes out to center ice. Weinstein will float it back in. Weinstein, most of the time this season, have been lined up with Christian Felton, and Felton is currently in the AHL with the Abbotsford Canucks. Tahoe skates down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot, kick save by Bassey off his right pad as Trent Zwick had a good look as he was trying for a second of the game. Puck to center ice and slides back to the Tahoe blue line. Night Monsters will feather one across. As both teams will spread the ice, Tahoe in their own zone, they outlet it to center ice. And it's off the stick of big Trent Zwick, who goes 6'6", 207 pounds. Zwick scored a late first period goal. And right now his power play goal is the difference in the game. As Night Monsters off the left wing boards, lefty shot saved by Bassey as he just deflected it with his right blocker. Now the puck will trickle towards the left corner. Tahoe gets the puck and they'll skate back towards the point. As the Night Monsters will bounce it back in as it rolls around Bassey's net. Night Monsters back towards the right wing as they fire a lefty shot and it's sticked away, as it was sticked away long before it got to Bassey. As Tahoe back up top. Right wing, lefty shot. And that one's blocked as puck goes back towards the right point. Yevdokimov delivers a push on a Night Monster. Now Sage Weinstein floats it forward, but it goes over the head of a Grizzly and back towards Tahoe. Rink-wide feed, angle left is misconnected. And icing is on Tahoe. This play stops at 11:54 left in the second. So draw's going to come back towards Jordan Paperny. Paperny out of Edmonton, Alberta. Second-year Night Monster. Paperny born on April 10th, 1996. Henri Schreifels will take the draw. He's out there with John Gillette and Mikey Colella. As the Grizzlies are down to 10 forwards as Stepan Timofeyev got a match penalty late in the first period. It's kind of a tough break considering Timofeyev is in the lineup for the first time since January 9th. As he got injured in a game that was the first of the 3-game series over at Tahoe Blue Event Center last month. Night Monsters throw it in. As Noah Gansky with the puck. He'll move it forward to center ice. Now to Schreifels near the Grizzlies bench, and Schreifels will backhand it in. Schreifels picked up his first 2 pro points last Saturday against Greenville. As Grizzlies get it off the boards. Now back up top. Left wing, lefty shot goes wide. Now Tahoe tosses it in their own net. Boy, the Grizzlies fired away from the left point, and it looked like Lyndon Algier tried to play the puck, and it deflected, I believe, off Algier's stick and into the back of the net. So just like that, we're tied at 2 with 11:16 left in the second. Boy, we'd love to see a replay just to see where that puck deflected off. It looked like it deflected off the Tahoe stick as the Grizzly took the shot from the left point. Whoever took the shot from the far point probably is going to get credited with the goal. So good bounce for the Grizzlies. We're tied at 2. Well, Utah, even before that goal, developed quite a bit of offensive zone time. As Bassey rolls it towards the far corner. As Grizzlies are in their own zone, skating from left to right. Antonacci off the glass. Tahoe will bounce it towards the left corner. Now to the left goal line. As they feather one across as Tahoe swings and misses. Puck goes back towards the Night Monsters, who try to get up top towards Kalen Taylor. Puck stays in the corner. Lepster in the area along with Antonacci. As Antonacci delivers a push on a Night Monster, Hanson Bukata will plop it ahead. As Lepster crosses center ice 2-on-2. Lepster dumps it in. As looks like the other Grizzlies make a line change around him as he was out there with Gratton was Lepster. Connors delivers a push towards the left point. Now he moves it across. Grizzlies get it off the wall. Danny Genev skates towards the right side as he fires lefty shot and it's blocked. And now back towards left point. Shot saved by Paperny. He holds on with 10:14 left in the second. So timeout on the ice. Grizzlies have tied it up. We're about halfway through the scheduled 60-minute affair. Grizzlies 2, Night Monsters 2. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
So we're tied at 2 about halfway through the second period. It appears the goal was credited to John Gillette, who gets his 8th of the year, 8:45 in. Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Mikey Colella each picked up an assist. For AHB, that should be his 23rd assist of the season. And for Colella, that's his first assist as a Grizzly. 10 minutes and 14 seconds left in the second period. As a draw is going to be in the Night Monster zone. Riley Connors will take the faceoff. He's out there with Yevdokimov. Tahoe's outshot Utah 16-14 as the Night Monsters roll it along the near wing. Gansky delivers a push on a Night Monster. Yevdokimov in the area. Yevdokimov up top towards Gansky. Back towards Yevdokimov. Will feed it behind Tahoe's net. Wrap around. Genev shot saved by Paperny as the Night Monsters will race back to neutralize. Tahoe crosses center. And they'll backhand it in. Boilard delivers a push as the puck will slide towards the near point where it's taken back by Yevdokimov, who had a good year 2 seasons ago with Tulsa. And he drops it off for Connors, who takes a righty shot that goes wide. Might have gotten a piece with Paperny as the puck will slide deep into the Grizzlies zone. Weinstein will backhand it towards somebody off the screen, and that's Boilard. The Grizzlies are rolling with 7 defensemen tonight. As taking the puck is Riley Connors. He's been a man possessed. Out to the high slot, righty shot. And Paperny might have gotten a piece of it. As puck back towards Connors, it gets held up. Yevdokimov gets pushed towards the boards. And Tahoe will race across center ice 4-on-4. Night Monsters dump it in. Adam Pitters in particular, he chases after it. A Night Monster goes down in the left corner, ends in the area. As John Gillette will slice it ahead. Kennedy crosses center ice 1-on-3. Kennedy over the offensive blue. Makes a move around one Night Monster. Left wing, lefty shot goes wide as he tried to roof it over the shoulder of Paperny. Back towards the left wing. Weinstein, lefty shot, saved by Paperny. Now Grizzlies looking for the wraparound. Gillette falls down as he was taking the shot. No call on the play. Night Monsters roll it out to center ice. Colby Enns will fire it back in as Paperny behind his net will play it. As this has been an exciting game. Both teams going back and forth playing with confidence. Tied at 2, 8.5 minutes left in the second period. Night Monsters roll it along the roulette wheel. Schreifels gets blasted along the near wing boards. Puck goes to center ice. Grizzlies ship it ahead as great stick handling by Evan Friesen, tossing ahead towards Grattan. Night Monsters will cross center ice. Grizzlies trail the play. Tahoe back towards the right wing. As Tahoe slides to the middle of the ice, backhand shot saved by Bassey. Rebound goes to Lepster. As Reed Lepster will race along the far wing, he crosses center ice, and he'll drive it around the boards. Paperny cuts it off behind his net. Puck will wobble towards the near point. It goes out to center ice. Night Monsters enter from the right wings. They get around Lepster and get around Salem. Tahoe back towards the left wing. Now to the high slot for Trent Zwick. Zwick will slice it towards the right side. Now down the middle of the ice. Righty shot goes wide as they miss the net stick side on Bassey. As Poliani feathers one towards the near goal line. Grizzlies clear it off the left wing boards. Now left wing, lefty shot, saved by Bassey. He holds on, and after the whistle, Casey Bailey with a push on his stick to Luke Salem. 7:28 is the time remaining in the second period. We're tied at 2. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
We're tied at 2. I just saw a replay of the Grizzlies' second goal because they didn't have the common decency of showing the replay here on the broadcast, but it looked like Hanson Buchanan took the shot from the left wing, ricocheted, and then John Gillette, as he was falling down, was the one to collect the rebound and throw it past the goal line. And so, initially it looked like Tahoe threw it into their own net, but in fact, according to the replay I saw, on the Grizzlies social media channels, it does look like John Gillette was the one that poked it in. So Gillette gets his 8th of the year. Hanson Buchanan and Mikey Coelho with the assist. We've got ourselves a 2-2 game. Just over 7 minutes left as Kevin Wall is laying on top of Gansky. Wall with a strong cross check on Gansky. No call. Right wing righty shot saved by Bassey. And he holds on. And now Trent Zwick with a push on Gansky as there's 7:11 left in the second period. Gansky trying to collect his bearings as he got a strong cross check in the back from a night monster. And so Gansky looks like he's at a little bit less than 100%. And so Gansky's going to stay on the ice, although it looks like he's going to come off now as Enns and Weinstein are the two defensemen for the Grizzlies as it's game 2 of a 3-game set. Both teams will meet tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It'll be the final game played at Tahoe Blue Event Center that will feature the Grizzlies in their regular season history. Grizzlies will throw it out to center ice after winning the faceoff. Now taking the puck is John Gillette. Left wing, lefty shot, and that one goes wide. Might have gotten a piece of Paperny as the puck goes back to center ice. Enns will fire it on to Paperny, who kicks to the corner. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports. And attempt might be the key word in this particular case. Out towards the left wing, loose puck taken by John Gillette, who's had a strong performance here tonight as he picked up the second period goal. He now has 8 on the season. Gillette was strong in last night's games. Grizzlies floated in from center ice as Taylor plays behind his net. Taylor will drift it out to center ice, but the puck will go all the way down deep in the Grizzlies zone. No icing, center pass, shot, and a score. So the Night Monsters take a 3-2 lead. As they dumped it in, Bassey thought that icing could have been called. Then the Night Monsters got it towards the right side, and we'll see if they'll ever get around to showing a replay. As the Night Monsters found a cutter out in front, and we believe they're the one that scored the goal. Centering pass towards Jake McGrew, and it looks like McGrew gets his 12th of the year as there's 6:22 left in the second period. So McGrew is going to get the goal as he was just cutting towards the net. Bassey kind of stopped and hesitated for a brief moment there once the puck was dumped in as he believed icing could have been called, but it looked like Tahoe was able to get down there before the Grizzlies, and so icing was waved off. So it's a 3-2 Tahoe lead as the puck will hit up to center ice. Granton gets boxed out by a Night Monster. Tahoe enters from the right wing. We believe that's Jake McGrew dangling back and forth. Right side now feathered around the boards. Night Monsters back behind Utah's net over to the right goal line. Righty shot, stick saved by Bassey. Puck goes to the left point as the Night Monsters roll it along the roulette wheel. And the Grizzlies get it towards Antonacci, who dances around in the right corner. Antonacci will plop it ahead as Granton over towards the far point. Tahoe keeps it in. Now the Grizzlies get it towards Reed Lepster, who pushes to the middle of the ice for Antonacci. Antonacci, rink-wide feed, angle left, goes to Gratton. Tyler Gratton skates down as he gets dragged down by a Night Monster. Tahoe touches up, and it's going to be a Utah power play. As hooking is going to be the call, and Tyler Gratton drew the penalties. He skated with all sorts of momentum towards the far circle. Before he could get a shot off, he got dragged down, and Tahoe picked up a hooking penalty. as Grattan looks like he's shaking up just a little bit as he's skating towards the bench. Timeout on the ice. Tahoe leads 3-2 as Jake McGrew scored 13:37 in with Casey Bailey and Jake Derflinger getting the assists. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
It's Tahoe 3, Utah 2 as there's 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second period. Grizzlies are starting their third power play of the night as Samuel Maillet picked up a hooking minor, 14:40 in. Connors will take the face-off. Riley Connors has been outstanding this series. Up top to Gansky. His shots blocked with traffic out in front of Paperny, and the Night Monsters clear it out. Maillet's in the box as Grizzlies will set up shop as taking the puck is Noah Gansky. So he'll move it towards his left. Grizzlies drive it to Connors on the right side. Connors will drop it off as Gillette falls down and the Night Monsters clear it all the way back towards Massey. Massey slides towards his left to cut off the puck as he'll drop it for Gansky. The Grizzlies are rolling with 2 defensemen and 3 forwards on this power play unit. Gansky rink wide feed, angle left to Salem. Salem over the offensive blue. He falls down. The Night Monsters get the puck and they'll direct it around the boards. And it's cut. The Grizzlies thought they kept it in, faked out the camera operator, but the puck must have gone back to the center ice, and the Grizzlies tried to carry it back in, and they're offside. Well, we don't know what happened, but there's 4:36 left in the second, and certainly not offside because the draw is going to be in the Tahoe zone. But nevertheless, play stopped. 4:36 left in the second period. We're skating 5-on-4 for the next minute and 16 seconds. Grizzlies will switch up skaters as Evan Friesen will take the draw. If it's the same power play unit, we believe he's out there with Grattan, Lepster, Genev, and Hanson Mukata. Draw one by Utah's over to Lepster, left wing, righty shot, saved by Paperny, and he holds on as the Grizzlies won the draw, got it to Hanson Mukata on the right side. He moved it across to Lepster, and Lepster's one-timer was teed up from Hanson Mukata, but Paperny made the save with 4:31 left in the second. So face-off's now going to be in the left circle as Friesen looks over his left shoulder at Lepster. Evan Friesen, the first-year pro, played with the Wenatchee Wild the last handful of years. Grizzlies won the draw. Genev down the middle, lefty one-timer, saved by Paperny. Tahoe gets the rebound, and they will saucer it ahead as the puck goes towards Massey, who kicks it to the far corner. Tahoe gets the puck. They enter the offensive zone. Now they'll back it out to neutral ice. Now Tahoe wheels it along the boards as Massey cuts it off and gets to Lepster. Back to AHB, who has 12 power play points this season, all of them assists. As Grizzlies get it to Lepster, he's down the middle of the ice. He'll move to his left, tape to tape. Grizzlies get it to Genev. As Genev back up top. Hanson Mukata, left wing, fires lefty shot, saved by Paperny. Rebound goes towards Friesen and feeds it back up top. Hanson Mukata over to Grattan. Back to Genev, who gets the bouncing puck off the boards. Over to Friesen up top to AHB. Over to Lepster, right side. Lepster drops it back for Hanson Mukata down the middle. Lefty shot goes wide. Lepster off the boards as he gets bounced by a Night Monster. Now Lepster behind Tahoe's net. 10 seconds left in the power play. Up top to Genev in the left point. Genev dancing back and forth as he gets it towards Lepster. Lepster to Friesen in the left circle. Back up top to Lepster. As now we're skating 5-on-5 just outside the left circle. Hanson Mukata, lefty shot, saved by Paperny. Now back behind Tahoe's net. Genev gets pushed in the corner. Tahoe gets the puck. Utah is now 0 for 3 on the power play. As crossing center ice, Kevin Wall. Now Wall will chip it to the middle of the ice. Night Monsters back towards the right wing. They skate to the circle. Colella knifes it away from a Night Monster as the puck goes back towards the left corner. 2:50 on a moving clock, second period. Schreifels throws it up and not out. Kalen Taylor fires it wide from the left point. Now dancing around. Puck still alive. As now it rolls towards the right corner. Hanson Bukata clears it out. It goes all the way down for a Utah icing as play stops with 2 minutes and 34 seconds left in the second. So draw is going to come back towards Dominic Bassey. Night Monsters are up to 21 shots. Grizzlies have taken 19. So it's 22-19 in the shot edge to the Night Monsters. For the Grizzlies, their 19 shots. Riley Connors leads the way with 4. Reed Lepster and Danny Geneva each have 3. Noah Gansky with 2 shots and a handful of other Grizzlies with 1 shot through 38 minutes of play. Puck towards the right corner of the Grizzlies zone as Utah holding their ground. Schreifel's hanging out in the slot. Now Tahoe towards the left wing, get to the middle of the ice. Righty shots blocked by Colella. Now back towards the right wing as Tahoe skates behind Bassey's net. Night Monsters get it off the boards to Kalen Taylor. Taylor in the left wing. As he'll roll along the wall. Kind of hates a weird bounce off a stanchion. Wraparound shot saved by Bassey. And after the whistle, Sage Weinstein getting after it with Jake Derflinger. Derflinger gets a ride in. Boy, I don't know if the referee's going to give him a roughing minor, though, for as Derflinger. It looked like he took a free shot at Weinstein. Derflinger, though, skating towards the bench and not the penalty box area. And now it looks like Trent Zwick is getting after it with Aiden Hansen-Bukata. 1:58 left in the second period. As Derflinger and Weinstein continue to yell at each other. Derflinger sporting a mustache, and Derflinger got a free shot in after the whistle on Sage Weinstein. Some referees would call a roughing minor for that, but it looks like Derflinger got away with one. 1:58 left in the second period. Faceoffs going to be in the Grizzlies zone. During the second intermission, we'll go over some other scores from around the world of sports. Greenville and Idaho are near a conclusion, which would mean that this would be the only game that would be ongoing in the league. Every other game's gone final. Draw one by Tahoe. Poliani in particular took the faceoff against Riley Connors. Up top, Tahoe. High slot, lefty shot, saved by Bassey. That shot was taken by Lyndon Algier, who's a +10 this season. He has no goals and 5 assists in 29 games. 1:49 left in the second period. Now Poliani has some words for Bassey as play starting to get chippy, not necessarily physical kind of chippiness, but both teams exchanging quite a few words at the other. As Riley Connors will take the draw against Mike O'Leary. O'Leary, 6'2", 201 pounds. He has 9 goals and 12 assists in 38 games this season. Draw one by Connors and the Grizzlies. Puck goes up and not out. Algier, left wing. Lefty shot, saved by Bassey. And then after the whistle, it looked like a Night Monster took a free shot at Bassey. And now both teams have to be separated again. As it appears, Bassey made the stop with 1:44 left in the second. As Tahoe trying to get in that real estate in front of Bassey. And it looks like Poliani having some words for Bassey as Utah goaltender was able to make the stop. So Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Face off back in the Grizzlies zone. It looks like it's going to be in the right circle. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. As this has been quite the battle. Tahoe had a 2-1 lead after one period. Both teams have scored 1 goal here in the second. John Gillette got the rebound off a Hansen-Bukata shot as he tied it up. 8:45 in. Jake McGrew gave Tahoe a 3-2 lead. He scored 13:37 in. Up in the left point, Algier rolls it back around the boards. Action in the Grizzlies zone. 1.5 minutes left in the second period. as Gansky holds up a night monster behind Bassey's net. Now the puck will trickle towards the left corner. Salem delivers a push as the Grizzlies. Riley Connors gets it out to center ice as he was looking for John Gillette. And the Night Monsters throw it back in. Bassey raises his right stick, and icing is on Tahoe with 1:14 left in the second. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies. We're looking to get a little bit of momentum heading into the second intermission locker room. As Grizzlies have looked pretty strong offensively at times here tonight. They're playing with a ton of confidence. They won 9-6 on Wednesday. And Utah offensively really done a good job working the puck around, and it seems like they've got a couple forward lines who have developed a bit of chemistry. Obviously, this forward line's been pretty strong over the last 7 games. Gratton, Friesen, and Lebster, but this time Tahoe wins the faceoff, and they'll race out to center ice. Algier will pitch it in as Antonacci gets it off Utah's backboards. There's 1 minute left in the second period as Antonacci rolls it along the boards, but the puck must have deflected out of play. As it looked like AHB tried to roll it around. It must have kicked off a Hanson Mukata and deflected out of play. Draw's going to stay in the Grizzlies zone as there's 56.6 seconds left in the second. It's a Friday night, and the Grizzlies have been strong on Friday road games this year. Utah is 6-2-1 on road Fridays this season. Friesen stares down Casey Bailey, who's got 1 assist tonight. Draw won by Utah's. Hanson Bukana will often out towards Yevdokimov. It's poked back by the Night Monsters. Out to the left wing. Bailey battles with Antonacci. Bailey gets there stride ahead of Antonacci as Bailey looked to center. That's sniped away by Utah. As Reed Lebster crosses center ice, 40 seconds left in the period. Lebster falls down. No tripping, though, as Lebster certainly wanted a penalty to be called, but we play on. Over to the left corner. Friesen dances around. He avoids one check. Now Friesen bounces it to the left circle. It's taken by Tahoe. It rolls along the boards. Loose puck. Lebster will slide it up top, looking for Hanson Bukata, but the puck goes back towards Tahoe. Out to center ice. 16 seconds left in the period. Night Monsters, right wing, righty shot. And it goes wide as Bassey was sprawling towards his left. 8 seconds left in the period. Friesen throws it in as puck ricochets off the backboards. Friesen gets pushed towards the boards. 2 seconds left in the period, and right at the buzzer, a Night Monster knocks around Friesen, and that's Kevin Wall. And the horn sounds, and that will do it for 40 minutes over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. Both teams scored 1 goal in the second frame as Tahoe had a 2-1 lead. The Night Monsters had a power play in the first 2 minutes and 46 seconds of the second period, but couldn't find the back of the net on that occasion. John Gillette tied it up 8.5 minutes into the second period. Jake McGrew right now has the deciding goal as McGrew scored 13:37 into the second period. We'll see if the Grizzlies have a third period comeback in them, as after 2 frames, it's the Tahoe Night Monsters 3 and the Utah Grizzlies 2. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
After 2 periods of play, the Tahoe Night Monsters lead the Utah Grizzlies 3-2. Utah got on the board in their first shift of the game as Riley Connors got his 8th of the year. The assist probably should go to Danny Genev and Stepan Timofeyev. However, the off-ice officials were out to lunch there in the first minute of the game, and right now Connors' goal is listed as unassisted. There is no way in the world that was unassisted, but that's what they've got listed on the box score as of right now. Connors gave Utah a 1-0 lead, and he was the number one star on Wednesday night as he had 2 goals and 1 assist in Utah's 9-6 victory. Tahoe got a power play goal 5:50 in as Luke Adam got his 12th of the year as he got a centering pass from Kevin Wall. Wall with his 15th assist of the year, and Nate Callan picked up his 23rd assist of the campaign, and that tied it up 5:50 into the first period. Utah got a power play when the score was tied at 1. Luke Adam for Tahoe had a breakaway, and he was denied by the blocker of Dominic Bassi. Late in the first period, Grizzlies Stepan Timofeyev, who was appearing in a game for the first time since January 9th, as he had missed 12 straight games. Great to have him back in the lineup. He picked up a match penalty for slew footing, 17:46 in, and that gave Tahoe a 5-minute major power play. Night Monsters scored 19:56 in as Trent Zwick got his 17th of the year. Poliani and Pitters each picked up an assist. That was the only goal that was scored by Tahoe during the major power play. Early in the second period, Grizzlies tied it up as Aiden Hansen-Bukata had the puck in the left point. He fired towards the net, and the puck ricocheted off the end boards. And then John Gillette, as he was falling down, deflected the puck in the back of the net as Gillette got his 8th of the year. Hansen-Bukata and Mikey Colella each picked up an assist. And for Colella, that's his first assist as a Grizzly. For Hansen-Bukata, that's his 23rd helper of the season, which leads all Grizzly defensemen. Tahoe retook the lead 3-2 as Jake McGrew got his 12th of the year. Casey Bailey and Jake Derflinger each picked up the assists. Tahoe is 2 for 4 on the power play. Grizzlies are 0 for 3, even though the Grizzlies in all 3 of their power plays had chances. The process of the power play certainly seemed to go well. The Grizzlies seemed to, at points on the power play, get what they wanted offensively, but just couldn't find a way to find the back of the net. And really, if you're game planning on the Tahoe side coming into play, you see the Grizzlies are 9 for 23 on the power play over the last 7 games. And obviously, that becomes a big focus. And so the Night Monsters certainly had a little bit more focus on the penalty kill tonight, knowing that the Grizzlies are really taking advantage of power play opportunities over the last handful of games. So we'll see if the Grizzlies have a third period comeback in them. Night Monsters have a 3-2 lead. Special teams have played a factor in this one, obviously, with the 2 Tahoe first period power play goals, and the Grizzlies 0 for 3 on the man advantage so far. Tahoe with 25 shots, Grizzlies with 19. Riley Connors leads Utah with 4 shots. All of them came in the first period. Reed Lepster and Danny Genev each have 3 shots. Noah Gansky with 2 shots, and a handful of other Grizzlies with 1 shot through 2 periods. Dominic Bassi has stopped 22 of 25 in net for Utah as he's done a good job keeping the Grizzlies in it. Jordan Paperny for Tahoe, he has saved 17 of 19. There's only one other game in progress in the league, and that is played at Idaho Central Arena. There's 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in the third period, and they're tied at 4. Greenville has goals from Patrick Berg, Wade Murphy, Dante Sheriff, and Keaton Mastrodonato. Idaho's got goals from Ty Pelton-Bice, Mason Nevers, one of the Dodaro brothers, whether it's Charlie or Chris. They scored in the second period, and Liam Malmquist scored 2:03 into the third period. Idaho has outshot Greenville 42-26. Right now, they're late in regulation, tied at 4. Don't forget, the Idaho Steelheads will be in town next Tuesday as it's going to be a makeup of the December 26th postponed game due to the player strike. And so that's going to be a rare Tuesday home game for the Grizzlies, February 10th, as they take on the Idaho Steelheads. Other action across the league, every other game has gone final. Allen got 3 goals from Colton Hargrove. They defeat the Norfolk Admirals 5-2. Rapid City gets goals from 3 different forwards. They defeat Wichita 3-2. It was also a 3-2 final as Kansas City got a 3-2 victory over Tulsa. Kansas City's record goes to 34-8-1-1. Last night, Dylan Wells picked up a shutout for the Mavericks in his Kansas City debut. And tonight it was Logan Turnus picking up the victory in net for Kansas City as he saved 28 of 30. Fort Wayne defeats Iowa 7-2, as it was a very balanced attack offensively for the Comets. Cincinnati defeats Toledo 5-3. Maine over Orlando 6-3. In a shootout, Indy gets a 3-2 win over Wheeling. Atlanta got an overtime game winner from Ryan Francis as the Gladiators get their 31st victory of the year. They defeat Jacksonville 4-3. Adirondack over Trois Rivières 5-3. Savannah gets a 4-2 win over Florida. Bloomington defeats Kalamazoo 5-2. Remember, Bloomington is going to be at Maverick Center next week for a 3-game series. That's going to be February 13th, 14th, and 16th. Remember that February 16th game will be a 3 o'clock start. One other final in the league, Reading defeats Greensboro 5-2. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side as Tahoe leads Utah 3-2 after 40 minutes of play. You're tuned into the second intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting as we're hanging out here at Maverick Center in the lobby of the Grizzlies office here in the Professional Green Studios. It's the second of a 3-game series. Grizzlies got a 9-6 victory. In fact, they picked up a season-high 9 goals on Wednesday night, and it was capped off by an outstanding third period where the Grizzlies scored 4 goals on 5 shots. We mentioned it was a season high. It was the 7th time this season the Grizzlies had scored at least 6 goals in a game. 6 of the 7 were road games. You know, before Wednesday night's 9-goal performance, Grizzlies scored 7 goals at Kansas City on December 19th, and then they scored another 7 goals, including 6 in the third period alone on December 21st against the Tulsa Oilers. Scoring in the third period has certainly been a strength for the Grizzlies as of late. They have 35 third-period goals in their last 26 games, and they have a third-period goal in 21 of their last 26 games. The Grizzlies are going to need a strong third period if they're going to come back in this one against the Tahoe Night Monsters. It's the 5th of 9 regular season meetings between the Grizzlies and Night Monsters this year. Tahoe swept Utah in a 3-game series on January 9th, 10th, and 11th. And obviously the Grizzlies got the victory on Wednesday. Tomorrow will be the 6th and final game over at Tahoe Blue Event Center this season, and that will conclude a 3-game series. And then the Night Monsters are going to be at Maverick Center later on in the month of February for a big 3-game series on February 25th, 26th. It's going to be February 25th, 27th, and 28th, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Don't forget that Friday and Saturday, the last 2 games of the Tahoe series, will be Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. So it's certainly going to be an emotional weekend. Make sure to get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com. It's going to be a Friday and Saturday night for Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend, February 27th and 28th. When we come back, we'll have third period action as we'll skate 5-on-5 to start the third period. Tahoe with a 25-19 edge in the shot count. Grizzlies have goals from Riley Connors and John Gillette. And the Night Monsters have first period goals from Luke Adam and Trent Zwick and a second period goal from Jake McGrew. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Third period action will begin shortly as Grizzlies are looking for a comeback as Tahoe has a 3-2 lead. Some of the team leaders for the Grizzlies coming into play tonight. Reed Lebster is second in the league with 24 goals this season. Danny Genev should have 1 assist tonight, but they didn't give him an assist there in the first period on the Riley Connors goal. Genev should have 25 assists on the season. Genev and Reed Lebster reach time for the club lead with 38 points coming into play tonight. Lebster doesn't have any points, and Genev should have 1, which means Genev should have the club lead with 39 points this season. It's great to have Stepan Timofeyev back in the Grizzlies lineup for the first time since January 9th. He leads the Grizzlies in plus-minus with a +2 rating this season. Unfortunately, late in the first period, Timofeyev picked up a match penalty for slew footing late in the first period. So he got an early shower, and the Grizzlies are rolling right now with 10 forwards and 7 defensemen. Grizzlies have been a strong power play unit this season, as with the 2-for-2 power play night on Wednesday, the Grizzlies came into play with a 21.3% power play, which ranks 6th in the league. And Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain, has been instrumental to the Grizzlies' power play success as he leads Utah with 13 power play points. And he also leads the club with 6 power play goals. Aiden Hansen-Buchanan leads Utah with 12 power play assists. Danny Genev has 11 on the season. Genev has led the league in shots on goal for the majority of this season. He's got 3 shots tonight, and he now is 182 on the season. Reed Lebster, we mentioned the goal-scoring exploits with 24 this year. He leads the Grizzlies with a 16.4 shooting percentage this season. So that's some of the team leaders for the Grizzlies this year. In terms of multiple point games, Danny Genev leads the club with 11. Reed Lebster has 8 multiple point games, and Tyler Gratton is third on the club with 6 multiple point games this season. Stepan Timofeyev and Griffin Ness are each tied with 5 multiple point games on the year. The lights are off over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, and we'll have third period action here shortly. When we come back in 1 minute, we'll have third period action as The Grizzlies are looking for a comeback. It's the Tahoe Night Monsters 3 and the Utah Grizzlies 2. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're about set for third period action as the Night Monsters lead the Grizzlies 3-2. Before we go to the third period, it's been a while since we mentioned the scratches. Scratches for the Grizzlies tonight include Robbie Stucker, Avery Winslow, Rylan Kovacevic, Luke Manning, Neil Shea, Christoph Villion, TJ Sneath, and Mike Gillette. Those are the scratches for the Grizzlies this evening. Utah will start the third period with Evan Friesen, Reed Lepster, and Tyler Gratton, and up top is Noah Gansky and Luke Salem. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports. We do ask for quite a bit of patience. Unfortunately, we're at the mercy of this video feed, which hasn't necessarily been all that great to us this week. Gratton left wing, lefty shot goes wide as the puck will slide deep into the Grizzlies zone. Dominic Bassey in net for the Grizzlies for the second straight game in this road trip. As long-range feed over the stick of Reed Lepster and all the way down for a Utah icing as we get a whistle 28 seconds into the third period. So faceoff's going to come back towards Dominic Bassey, who's done a good job lately keeping the Grizzlies in games. Bassey has won 3 of his last 6 starts, and he came into play with a record of 3-4-2 and a 3.52 goals against average. Friesen will take the draw against Casey Bailey. Bailey this season for Tahoe has 17 goals and 22 assists. Grizzlies got a first period goal from Riley Connors and a second period goal from John Gillette. Tahoe wins the draw as Night Monsters look for a centering pass as Bassey kicked his left pad open. As now Reed Lepster crosses center ice and he'll skip it in. As the Grizzlies make their first line change of the third period. As the Night Monsters and their specialty jersey, it's retro night and they're a second-year franchise, so they don't have any throwback jerseys, but they're going with a version of Team USA's 1960 jersey. Connors with the right wing feed to Genev. Genev looked to center it towards Connors off his stick. Yevdokimov reverses it back to the right wing as Genev will skip one out in front. It's taken away by the Night Monsters. As Tahoe in their red, white, and blue jersey, it's mostly a blue jersey with red numbers, red lettering, a little bit of white mixed in. Grizzlies in a white jersey with black numbers and professional green trim. As Tahoe's Lyndon Algier tried to slither his way around Hanson Mukata. Puck is batted by Bassey towards the right corner. Like Bassey's playing with a lot of confidence here tonight. Antonacci dancing around Utah's net. He'll roll it along the boards. It goes past Connors, left point. Now kicks off a Connors stick as Genev had a brush away from him. And the puck goes back towards Genev just outside the Tahoe line, and he'll fire it in. As the Grizzlies will switch up skaters, Mikey Colella will race into the Tahoe zone as puck hit in the ops towards the middle of the ice. Now in the Grizzlies zone, righty shots blocked by Weinstein. That's one of the big stories today is Sage Weinstein was reassigned to the Grizzlies from the AHL's Colorado Eagles. He played in 3 games for Colorado and had 1 goal, which was his first pro goal. Bassey behind his net as Tahoe takes it away. Now they chip it up top, left point. Night Monsters roll it back around the boards as they get it in the right goal line. Tahoe centers it, and it's knifed away by the Grizzlies, and that was John Gillette, who's played a strong two-way game here tonight. Weinstein moves one out to center ice. Now the Night Monsters get it knifed away by Colby Enns. Now Tahoe back towards Trent Zwick, who will shovel it in. As Enns towards the far corner gets the puck, and he'll tap it out to center ice. Coelho will whip it around the boards. Jordan Paperny behind his net will drop it off as the Night Monsters, skating from left to right here in the period, will skate to neutral ice. Tahoe enters from the left wing, and they'll bounce it off Utah's backboards as Noah Gansky gets the puck, and he'll saucer it ahead as helicopters over the stick of Reed Lebster. Boy, Lebster skated over there, and icing was called, even though it looked like Lebster might have had a step over the Tahoe defenseman, but icing on Utah with 16:55 left in the third. So faceoff's going to come back towards Dominic Bassey. It's game 44 of 72 for the Grizzlies. It's already the Grizzlies' 27th road game this year. So after tonight, the Grizzlies will have just 9 road games the rest of the season. Utah begins a 4-game homestand on Tuesday night against the Idaho Steelheads. Evan Friesen moves it ahead. It's off of Utah's stick as Tahoe back in the right wing there in the offensive zone. As the Night Monsters skate around Bassey's net. Now they're towards the left wing. Righty shot and a score. The Night Monsters extend the lead. And it looks like it's Kevin Wall getting his second of the game and 13th of the year. Wall skated around Bassey's net. And he found himself a bit of a shooting angle just inside the left circle. There was some action out in front as there was a Night Monster out in front of the crease. But it looks like Wall just scored cleanly. Stick side past Bassey. So it's now a 4-2 game with 16:39 left in the third. The Grizzlies will be looking for a comeback here. Puck towards center ice is Hanson Mukanda over to Genev. Danny Genev skates towards the left corner as he jumps around a Tahoe check. Genev around the net, fumbles the puck, trying to get it back. He gets hit in the right corner. He gets set up high. Play stops, and I believe Utah's going to get a power play. As Genev was dancing around over in the right corner, he gets hit up high. Grant Hendrick, the referee's checking to see if there's any blood. Not sure that he spotted blood, but I'm not sure they're going to give Utah power play. They stopped play. Genev got hit up high. But it looks like we're skating 5-on-5. Draw's going to be in the right circle. If they didn't call a penalty, I'm not sure why they stopped play. But nevertheless, we're skating 5-on-5. It looked like they hit Genev up high, but no penalty. Now Tahoe skates down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot, saved by Bassey. Pretty much a breakaway for the Night Monsters, and Bassey made a key save to keep Utah in it. Grizzlies skied out of play. Tahoe wants delay of game. Does the referee believe so? There's 15:58 left in the third. So we're not sure if it's going to be delay of game, although we do see a shirtless gentleman. Now we see a couple other shirtless gentlemen. We wanted to see if, we don't know if there's a penalty on the play, but it is important that we see the fans here on the video. It is what it is. So not sure if delay of game was called or not, as Grizzlies are certainly hoping not, as Utah is trying to clear it out to center ice. So the Tahoe goal to make it a 4-2 game. They still haven't posted on the ECHL box score. Looks like we're skating 5-on-5, so no delay of game penalty. As action in the Grizzlies zone. As Tahoe towards the left corner, dancing around Bassey's net. They try to feather it out in front, but just not much of a passing angle. Now down the middle of the ice, righty shot goes wide. As Schreifels, he's out there. Boilar now Tahoe around the net, wraparound shot, and that one misses wide as Gillette skates towards the left wing, drops it off for Boilar. As puck goes deep into the Tahoe zone. Night Monsters run it down. They lead 4-2. Kevin Wall scored 3:22 in with Casey Bailey getting an assist. Tahoe crosses center ice, and they'll loft it in as Weinstein chases after it, and he'll direct it from one corner to the other as Colby ends will nudge it ahead as the Grizzlies cross center ice. Webster whips it around the boards. Gratton towards the left wing, reverses it back. It goes past Webster as Colby ends gets cut in front as Night Monsters will slide it back towards Utah ice. Tahoe try to find a cutter out in front, and it bounced off a stick. Now towards the middle of the ice, righty shot, and that's blocked. It was blocked by Friesen. Webster gets the puck, and he'll race along the right wing, crossing center ice, and he'll throw it in, but a Night Monster is able to collect it just inside the Tahoe blue line. Now the Grizzlies slide it back to the left corner as Night Monsters still deep in their own zone as they'll pitch it out towards center ice. And the Night Monsters get it back in as Bassey plays behind his net. Bassey's being backed up by Anson Thornton, who just joined the Grizzlies earlier this week. Grizzlies right wing fired across. Now Genea backhands it around Tahoe's net. Connors fakes a shot on the right side, slides it up top to Gansky. Now Gansky back in deep to Genea. Wraparound shot, and he's cut off as Genea was skating towards the far side. He might have been looking for Connors out in front. Night Monsters with a long-range feed that misconnects for an icing as play stops with 14:01 left in the third. So faceoff's going to come back towards Jordan Paperny. Night Monsters have outshot the Grizzlies 29-20. And here so far in the third period, the shot advantage is 4-2. Face-off won by the Night Monsters. Out towards center ice. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the third period as Tahoe throws it in. Hanson Bukata plays it behind his goaltender. Now AHB standing behind Bassey. Hanson Bukata, the RIT and Ohio State product. Over to Antonacci with a long-range feed angle left towards Gillette. John Gillette, whose brother Mike Gillette picked up a goal on Wednesday. Mike Gillette's out of the lineup this evening as the Night Monsters get it back in. Puck up and up steep in the Grizzly zone. Hanson Bukata gets thrown towards the boards a little bit awkwardly. AHB gets back to his feet as now AHB delivers a push in the far corner. Left wing, shot saved by Bassey. And after the whistle, Anthony Collins getting after it with Hanson Bukata. Anthony Collins, the guy that likes to mix things up physically from time to time. Tahoe leads 4-2 as Kevin Wall scored his second of the game. Actually, it was his first of the game, 3:22 into the third period, as Wall now has 1 goal and 1 assist. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Tahoe leads Utah 4-2 as there's 13:17 left in the third period. Grizzlies have a first period goal from Riley Connors and a second period goal from John Gillette. As puck towards the far side of the Grizzly zone, Utah skating from right to left as we attempt to see it on Flow Sports. As puck around the boards. Loose puck goes to Tahoe. Right wing righty shot saved by Bassey. Rebound goes towards Evan Friesen. And Friesen will sky it out towards Tahoe ice. The Night Monsters will drift it back to center ice. We apologize we're not as specific on descriptions as we are at the mercy of this one camera feed. Luke Adam, right wing lefty shot goes wide as the Night Monsters back deep in their own zone. As Tahoe in their red, white, and blue jerseys, a blue jersey with red numbers, red lettering, and a little bit of white mixed in. As the Night Monsters ice the puck with 12:33 left in the third. So draw's going to come back towards Jordan Paperny, the Tahoe goaltender, who has saved 19 of 21. Dominic Massey on the Utah side has stopped 26 of 30. It's the only game in progress. Greenville gets a 5-4 victory over Idaho. And how about this? Keaton Mastrodonato, the former Grizzly and former Stillhead, scores a minute 35 into OT as he picked up his second goal of the game. And the Swamp Rabbits get the extra standing point, 5-4 in overtime over the Idaho Stillheads. Other Mountain Division games, Kansas City defeated Tulsa 3-2. It was also a 3-2 final as Rapid City got the better of Wichita. And the Allen Americans got 3 goals from Colton Hargrove as they defeat Norfolk 5-2. Genev right wing, lefty shot, kicks off the right pad of Paperny as the Night Monsters enter the offensive zone 2-on-3. But everybody stops skating as the Night Monsters are offside. 12:19 left in the third. Other action across the league. And how about those Atlanta Gladiators? They just continue to win as they get a 4-3 overtime victory. Their record is now 31-10-1 on the season. Attendance has been counted over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. 4,001 is the attendance over in Tahoe. 4,001. Face off at center ice. Riley Connors will take it against Casey Bailey. As a draw won by the Night Monsters, as they will whip it around the wall. As over in the near corner, Luke Salem battles with the Night Monster. Salem's played a ton of ice time here tonight. Bassey falls down, and Kapchek fired it in the back of the net. I don't know if the goal was disallowed or not, but it's now a 5-2 game. Boy, Bassey was laying on the ice. The lights are flickering back and forth, and it looks like the goal's been disallowed. Goaltender interference as Bassey hit the ice. As looked like Riley Connors was battling with the Night Monster out in front. And the referee waved off the goal. It's still a 4-2 game. And what's hilarious about that is the camera feed's so terrible, we didn't actually get to see a good look as to whether there was a whole lot of contact on Bassey or not. But it does look like a penalty's been called on Casey Bailey according to the score bug. And so it looks like a goaltender interference minor has given Utah power play with it being a 4-2 game. So there's 12 minutes and 7 seconds left in the third period. And the Grizzlies are going to get a power play, as not only was the goal disallowed as Kapchek fired away from the right point, but a penalty has been called on Casey Bailey. As Bailey gets a charging minor, 7:53 in. So we'll see if Utah's fourth power play draws a goal to cut into the lead. It's now Tahoe 4, Utah 2. Friesen will take the faceoff. He's out there with Lebster, Grattan, Hanson, Bukata, and Genev. Tahoe wins the faceoff. They clear it out. Bassey behind his net. Will drop it for Hanson Bukata, who has 12 power play assists this year. HB drops it as Lebster crosses center ice right wing. Lebster accelerates over the offensive blue. Over to Grattan, who feathers one across. It glanced off at Tahoe, sticking and flies out of play. As there's a minute 40 left in the power play, and the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. Same teams tomorrow. Utah's hoping that tomorrow will be looking for a 3-game sweep, and Tahoe's hoping that Saturday will be a rubber match of a 3-game set. Friesen will take the faceoff as he stares down Tahoe's Mike O'Leary. Draw one by Friesen and the Grizzlies. Hanson Bukata will direct it towards the right circle for Genev. Genev fakes it to Hanson Bukata as he dances around in the right point. Now Genev shuffles his feet towards the right circle across to Lebster. Lefty shot. Saved by Paperny. And he holds on as there's now a minute 25 left in the power play. Lebster is all alone in the left wing, trying to fire at glove side, but Paperny made the stop. So it looks like the Grizzlies are going to keep the same 5 on the ice. Tahoe's going to switch up a couple skaters. Friesen sporting a mustache will take the draw again for Utah. Friesen's done a good job kind of playing some of the minutes that Luke Manning had brought forth. Manning's out with the lower body injuries, missed a little bit more than a month. Tahoe wins the faceoff, and they'll slice it out towards Utah ice. Bassey gets it off the boards. Behind Bassey's right shoulder are four shirtless gentlemen. We're certainly enjoying the fact that today is Friday. As Hanson Bukata skates around Utah's net. And he'll get out towards center ice. Now he drops it off as Gratton will pitch it back to the Utah line for Genev, who enters from the left wing. As Genev will skate slowly towards the left corner as he surveys. Now Genev gets up top towards Lebster. Lebster with a shoulder fake, but loses control of the puck. Tahoe's got a breakaway. Night Monsters skate down the middle, and Bassey knifes it away. Well, a great play by Bassey, utilizing confidence and knowing that Tahoe was cutting in front of him a little bit too closely, and Bassey was able to knife it away before the Night Monsters got a shot off. Grizzlies switch up skaters. Right wing, Gratton, lefty shot, saved by Paperny, and he holds on. Grizzlies make kind of a half-line change as Gratton was still out there, and maybe one or two others, maybe Friesen, but then the Grizzlies kind of switched up half the skaters, and now they make a full line change. There's 27 seconds left in the power play. Grizzlies with an offensive zone draws. There's 10:34 left in the third. Tahoe leads 4-2. Connors is out there with Yaroslav Yevdokimov. Gansky and Salem are the two defensemen. John Gillette's on the ice as well. Boy, Gillette's played a strong two-way game for the Grizzlies. He's had a great first pro campaign. First-year pro at a Holy Cross. Gillette 5'11", 195 pounds. And he's just been consistent game in and game out. Connors will take the face-off against Luke Adam. And the linesman says, let's do it over again. 27 seconds left in the power play. Gansky and Salem talk things over. Gansky, a big 6'7" defenseman. Puck off a Tahoe, stick off the draw. They'll throw it up and not out. Salem gets up top. Riley Connors dancing around. Connors now in the left circle. He'll pitch to the middle of the ice. Now up top to Gansky. Noah Gansky dancing around in the left point. Now across to Connors, who's on the right side. Connors fires the righty shot. It goes wide. Gansky collects the puck in the left point. Over to Yevdokimov in the left circle. He drops it for Salem, who skates towards the left corner. And now we're skating 5-on-5. Tahoe gets it ahead. Fresh out of the box. Night Monsters dangle back and forth, but lose control of the puck. Boy, you see that about 10 times a game in men's leagues. As Grizzlies have it towards the left wing. Connors look to center it. It's off a Bailey's stick. As puck goes out to center ice. Bailey will saucer one towards Bassey, who kicks it with his right pad. As puck towards the left corner. Now it's taken by Utah. As they'll get it to neutralize for Sean Kennedy, but it's off his stick, and the Night Monsters will float it forward deep in the Grizzlies zone. Colby ends around the boards. Puck hitting opposite the middle of the ice. As Salem accepts it, and he'll fire it towards Paperny. And icing is called. Schreifel's hustled down to try to take away the icing. Looked like Salem tried to fire it off at Paperny, but just missed a little bit wide. There's 9:18 left in the third period. Draw is going to come back towards Dominic Bassey. Grizzlies will be back at home on Tuesday night against the Idaho Steelheads. Make sure to get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com. It should certainly be a fun one. Grizzlies and the Steelheads meeting on a Tuesday night in a makeup game of the postponed December 26th affair. If you had a ticket for that December 26th game, it's probably good to use for that game on Tuesday. Mikey Colella crosses center ice. He's got great speed. As he loses control of the puck, now the Night Monsters come back the other way. There's less than 9 minutes left in the third period. As Tahoe fires it in, Colby ends, throws it behind Schreifels, and Schreifels gets the puck off the far wing boards. Henri Schreifels, the native of California, throws it in. As Paperny plays behind his net, Night Monsters solicit it out to center ice. Now they roll it down the middle. As Tahoe gets it knifed away as they try to split a double team to the middle of the ice. Now up top off a stick. It goes towards Gratton, who gets tripped up. And it looks like the call was made as Gratton was striding towards the left wing, got tripped up by Samuel Maillet. And it looks like Maillet has picked up a penalty. There's 8:29 left in the third period, and the Grizzlies will get their fifth power play of the night. It's Tahoe 4, Utah 2. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Now, they had a look-alike contest on the video board in Tahoe, but the funny thing is none of the people that they showed in the stands looked anything like the celebrities. 8:29 left in regulation as Tahoe leads 4-2. Grizzlies are on the power play for the fifth time tonight. Well, Utah's due. They're 0 for 4 on the power play this evening. They came into play with 9 power play goals in their last 7 games. This is a golden opportunity for the Grizzlies to climb back into this one. Evan Friesen will take the draw. He's got Lepster to his left, Gratton to his right, and up top is Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Danny Genev. Casey Bailey will take the draw for the Night Monsters. And the faceoff won by Tahoe. And they will flip it all the way towards Dominic Bassey. Bassey plays along the boards. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the third period. As Hansen-Bukata down the middle of the ice. Now he veers off to his left and he chips it back towards Danny Genev. Genev, the first-year pro to Penn State, dancing around as Bailey shadowing him. Genev will pitch it towards Lepster, skates around Utah's net. About 8 minutes left in the third period. Now Genev tosses it ahead as Hansen-Bukata crosses center ice. AHB over the offensive line, right wing. As Grizzlies were onside, Tahoe gets it and they'll flip it back towards Bassey. Lepster gets the puck. He strides towards his right and drops for Hansen-Bukata. HB will move it to his right. Now back towards Genev. Danny Genev crosses center ice. Now he'll move it to his right. Grizzlies over the offensive blue as Friesen skates towards a corner as he gets double-teamed. Genev will backhand it towards the left point for Gratton, but Gratton couldn't quite reach it as it goes back towards Utah ice. Grizzlies patient with their approach here on the power play as Lepster steps over the offensive blue left wing. He'll throw it in, but getting it off the boards is Kalen Taylor, who will helicopter it all the way towards Bassey as the puck skips awkwardly towards Bassey as 3 shirtless gentlemen pound the glass behind Bassey's net. 34 seconds left in the power play as Yevdokimov will get it to the right wing after the Grizzlies made a line change. Connors trying to center it to Yevdokimov. It's off a Tahoe stick as puck slides towards the right wing. Loose puck taken by the Night Monsters, who backhanded all the way out. Bassey will kick it to Connors. 13 seconds left in the power play as Connors will race across center ice. Connors over the offensive blue. Right wing will take a righty shot. Saved by Paperny. Connors already has 3 goals in this series. Puck back at center ice. And coming out of the box is the Night Monsters' Luke Adam. And so 6:22 is left in the third period. Grizzlies didn't have much on that power play. Connors had that one look from the right wing as Salem fakes it to Coella. Now Salem will bounce one past Paperny off the end boards as Yevdokimov battles with the Night Monster. And the puck will slide towards the left wing. Boilar lefty shot, and that one goes wide. Boilar with a powerful shot. Weinstein gets spun around as he was trying to play the puck in the right goal line. Less than 6 minutes left in the third period. Tahoe will ice it all the way down as the arm is enthusiastically raised by linesman Cameron Dykstra. No relation to former baseball player Lenny Dykstra. As there's 5:51 left in the third, and the draw is going to come back towards Jordan Paperny. If we're talking about missed opportunities, Grizzlies going 0 for 5 on the power play, especially in the stretch where Utah has been a strong power play unit. Right now, you'd say that's the difference in the game, especially since Tahoe is 2 for 4 on the power play in their own right. It's 4-2 Tahoe. The Night Monsters have 1 goal and 1 assist from Kevin Wall. Casey Bailey has 2 assists. For the Grizzlies, they got a first period goal from Riley Connors and a second period goal from John Gillette. Puck towards center ice. Grizzlies will fire it back in. Tahoe's outshot Utah 32-26. Grizzlies had 22 shots on Wednesday and scored 9 goals. As puck towards the right point. Kennedy in the offensive zone trying to move it to the corner. Tahoe will sky it out to center ice where it's gloved and dropped by Weinstein. Sage Weinstein whips it around the boards. As Colella over to the left point. Drops for Antonacci, but it goes back to center ice. Antonacci skates towards his right, and he'll whip it around the wall. As Tahoe gets it back towards center ice. Grizzlies re-enter from the right wing. Antonacci, right wing, righty shot, and that's sticked away by Paperny. As Reed Lebster will skate around Tahoe's net. Now he stops, reverses his field. Lebster tries to negotiate his way around a Night Monster as he gets pushed towards the left point. Now the puck gets kicked back to a spot that Lebster vacated. Grattan around Tahoe's net, gets towards the right wing, righty shot, a score! And it's now a 4-3 game. It looks like Evan Friesen redirected the Antonacci shot as Friesen skates to the bench first. That'd be the second straight game where Evan Friesen redirected a shot from a Grizzly defenseman, and this one's not over yet. 4:42 is left in the third period. It's the Night Monsters 4 and the Grizzlies 3. As Utah now has a goal in all 3 periods tonight. As we believe that Evan Friesen redirected the Luke Antonacci shot. Friesen has been one of Utah's Ironmen this season. Friesen, along with Genevieve, Gillette, and Reed Lebster, they're the 4 players who have appeared in every game for the Grizzlies this season. So it's a 4-3 contest. We'll see if the Grizzlies can get the tying goal. Utah will bounce it out to center ice. As taking the puck is Colby Enns. Enns, high slot, righty shot, saved by Paperny. And he will hold on as the clock freezes with 4 minutes and 19 seconds left in the third period. It's Tahoe 4, Utah 3, as Evan Friesen scored 15-18 into the third, redirecting a Luke Antonacci shot. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
We have ourselves a barn burner over at Tahoe Blue Event Center as it's a 4-3 game. Tahoe in front of Utah. Evan Friesen redirected a Luke Antonacci shot 15-18 in. Tyler Grattan, the Grizzlies captain, also gets credited with an assist. That's Grattan's 17th assist of the year. Riley Connors will take the draw against Mike O'Leary. Shots been pretty close to even. Tahoe with 32, Utah 29. Difference in the game is 2 power play goals for Tahoe in the first period. Grizzlies are 0 for 5 in the man advantage this evening. As back around the boards, you have Yevdokimov. Rolls it around. Connors lets it go to the right wing. Salem will pitch it back towards Yevdokimov, who skates towards the right corner. Grizzlies skate from right to left. Connors back and shot. He scores! Grizzlies tied up! Riley Connors gets his second of the night. And we're now tied at 4. Boy, the Grizzlies got it in deep, and Riley Connors just backhanded it past Paperny. 2 goals on Wednesday for Riley Connors and 2 here tonight. He scored 42 seconds into the first period, and Riley Connors ties it up with 4:03 left in the third this evening. Boy, the Grizzlies just keep battling. Now it's anybody's game. Utah has all sorts of momentum. 4 minutes left in regulation. Tahoe wins the faceoff as Weinstein plays the loose puck as he skates around Utah's net. Weinstein accelerates towards neutral ice. He skates towards his right. Now Weinstein crosses center ice, backhands it but not all the way in. As Tahoe enters down the middle of the ice, they get it knifed away by John Gillette, who's played a strong two-way game tonight. Puck towards the right wing, off of Weinstein. Tahoe gets to the middle of the ice. It's taken away by Mikey Colella as Schreifels will loft it towards Tahoe ice. Colella battles with the Night Monster. Schreifels gets belted by Lyndon Algier. Both guys wear number 7. 3:19 on a moving clock, third period. Tahoe enters 2-on-2 as they'll skate towards the left corner. Now they chip it towards the left circle. Centering pass is picked up by Hanson Mukata. He'll solicit it to his right. Grizzlies cross center ice, and they'll fire it in. As Lepster chasing after it with a Friesen. As the Night Monsters will chip it back across. As we get a whistle, I wonder if there was something away from the play as the referee had his right arm raised. Hanson Mukata is furious. He wants to go after a Night Monster. So there's just over 3 minutes left in regulation. As the fans taunt a Grizzly player, somebody off the screen. As looks like somebody for Tahoe's in the box. Trent Zwick can't believe it. Zwick puts himself in a stance, demonstrating what happened. So is it going to be a Utah power play? They show Zwick in the box. Anthony Collins, he's having a word with referee Grant Hendricks. So Zwick gets 2 minutes. There's 3 minutes and 3 seconds left in the third period. And so we believe Utah's got a power play. Now the referee's talking with Alex Lowe, the Tahoe head coach. As Grizzlies had the puck in the offensive zone, then looked like Hanson Mukata was furious with a Tahoe player. So it looks like the Grizzlies have the clipboard out, and they're going to use this time where the referee's talking with Alex Lowe to get kind of a mini timeout in. Boy, how many power plays can the Grizzlies get? This is their 6th power play of the game, and this would be a golden opportunity to take a lead as we're tied at 4. Trent Zwick got a boarding minor, 16:57 in, and that's why he's in the box. And the Grizzlies are hoping that this 6th power play will be the one that gives them a 5-4 lead. Grizzlies with third period goals from Evan Friesen and Riley Connors. They were scored 40 seconds apart. Friesen 15:18 in, and then Riley Connors on a backhand attempt, 15:58 in. Yevdokimov and Salem picked up the assist on the Connors goal. Riley Connors with 2 goals on Wednesday, and he has 2 more here tonight. Faceoffs in the left circle. It's taken by Friesen. It's won by Tahoe. Night Monsters backhanded up. Did the puck exit the zone? No, says the linesman. Right wing, right at lefty shot, and it's blocked by Papernis. He sprawled towards his right with Tyler Gratton net front. Now the Night Monsters step over the offensive blue as they lose control of the puck. Grizzlies race towards neutral ice with momentum. Lepster drops to his right for Genev, who plays it off the boards to Friesen. Friesen back to Genev. He's in the right corner. 2.5 minutes left in regulation. We're tied at 4. Lepster, he'll take a shot. He scores! Reed Lepster gets his 25th of the year. It's a power play goal as the Grizzlies take a 5-4 lead. How about that? Reed Lepster was all alone in the left circle, and he roofed it right over the right shoulder of Jordan Paperny. So how about this third period for the Grizzlies? Friesen scored 15:18 in. Connors 15:58 in. And we knew the Grizzlies, one power play opportunity after another. You knew they had to capitalize on that particular power play right here, right now, and Reed Lepster gets it done, 17:28 into the third period. Now it's a 5-4 game. We'll see if the Grizzlies can hold it. Utah fires it in from center ice. Played by Paperny to keep the play alive. Puck towards center ice. Tahoe gets it in on Nabassi, who kicks to the right corner. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the period. As the Night Monsters, Luke Adam fires towards the net and misses. Battle towards the far corner. Grizzlies get it up top. You have Yevdokimov crosses center ice. He one-hands it in deep. Paperny's still a net for the Night Monsters. 2 minutes left in regulation. As Tahoe crosses center ice, they'll dump it into the right corner. The Grizzly goes sprawling to the ice down the middle. As Weinstein back to his feet. Now Weinstein delivers a push on a Night Monster. 1:45 left. Hanson Bukata drags down a Tahoe player. As coming up with it's Evan Friesen. Friesen behind Bassey's net. He'll get it towards Hanson Bukata. AHB will loft it out to neutral ice. And looks like the Grizzlies are called for icing. So the draw is going to come back towards Dominic Bassey as there's 1 minute and 33 seconds left in regulation. And how about this third period comeback for the Grizzlies? 3 goals in the span of 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Lepster's power play goal was his 25th of the year. Genev and Evan Friesen picked up the assists. So for Evan Friesen, 2 big third period points. He scored a goal 15-18 in. And then he gets an assist on the Lepster power play goal. Utah's hoping it's the game winner. 5-4 Utah, minute 33 left in the third period. Friesen will take the draw against Casey Bailey. Faceoffs in the right circle of the Grizzlies zone. As Friesen's out there with Grattan and Lepster. Can't tell if Tahoe's net is empty. Draw one by Friesen and the Grizzlies. Colby ends. Whips it around the boards. Grattan chasing after it. The net is empty on Tahoe's side. Brennan Kapchak deep in his own zone. He's being shadowed by Grattan. Kapchak will throw it from one corner to the other to Bailey. Casey Bailey accelerates towards neutral ice. He'll drop it off at the Tahoe blue line. Night Monsters cross center ice. Kevin Wall, 1 goal and 1 assist tonight. Zips it around the boards. Now the puck is reversed back towards the right side for Kevin Wall, but it hits a stanchion. Grattan fires towards the empty net. And a score! Grattan scores! And it's now a 6-4 game as this baby's in the refrigerator. What a comeback for the Grizzlies, scoring 4 unanswered third period goals. And that crowd in Tahoe has to be silenced. The Grizzlies' big guns get it done in the third period. And it looks like the Grizzlies are going to win the first 2 games in Tahoe. And it's Tyler Grattan with 2 big third period points. He picked up an assist on the Friesen goal to make it 4-3. And now it's Tyler Grattan, who just continues to play great hockey. Grattan gets his 11th goal of the year. It was scored on an empty net. When the Grizzlies needed to buckle down and come through, they get 4 unanswered third period goals. 6-4 Utah, 50 seconds left in regulation. Paperny's in net for the time being for Tahoe. And how about the Grizzlies' offensive production? Another 6 goals tonight as Tahoe on the right wing righty shot goes wide and it deflects out of play with 40.8 seconds left in the third. Grizzlies came into play tonight with 29 goals over their last 7 games, and they score 4 huge third period goals in the final 4 minutes and 4.5 minutes of regulation. Grattan's empty net goal made it a 6-4 game, and the Grizzlies score 4 goals in just under 4 minutes. Face-off won by the Night Monsters. 38 seconds left in regulation. Grizzlies pick it off. Reed Lepster skates towards the right wing. Net is empty. Lepster fires a righty shot and he scores! And this baby's in the refrigerator as Lepster gets his 2nd of the night, and it's now a 7-4 game. What a third period comeback for the Grizzlies, who score 5 unanswered over the final 5 minutes in regulation. Unbelievable. And Poliani is yelling at the Grizzlies bench. He should be yelling at his own defensive unit for giving up 5 goals in 5 minutes. That crowd in Tahoe looks stunned. Lepster with 2 third period goals. Friesen, Connors, Grattan each find the back of the net. 7-4 Utah. Tahoe gets into the offensive zone left point. Shot gets redirected and goes wide as it goes out of play with 22.7 seconds left in regulation. Boy, this game took a turn for the better. Tahoe was up 4-2 with about 5 minutes left in regulation, but the Grizzlies got a power play and somehow made it connect. 18 seconds left. 7-4 Grizzlies. They have scored 36 goals over the last 8 games. Tahoe gets the puck there on the right point. 8 seconds left. They fire towards Bassi, who makes the save. And he holds on with 5.8 seconds left in regulation. As Boilar getting after it with a Tahoe skater in front of Bassi. So Saturday night, the Grizzlies are going to be going for the 3-game sweep. They won 9-6 on Wednesday night. Both teams were off yesterday. Grizzlies get 5 unanswered goals in the final. Or unfortunately, the stat sheet is all sorts of messed up, but 5 goals in the final 4 minutes and 42 seconds of regulation. 7-4 Utah, 5.8 seconds left in the third period. If you're talking about biggest third period comebacks of the season, Grizzlies put forth an amazing effort. Shot down the middle of the ice, saved by Bassi, and that will do it. Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win 7-4, and there is no doubt about it, as Utah scored 5 unanswered goals in the final 4 minutes and 42 seconds of regulation. Evan Freyson scored a big goal to make it 4-3, and then Riley Connors tied it up on a backhand shot. Reed Lepster with the power play game winner. He scored 17-28 in, and then Gratton and Lepster scored on an empty net. How about that for the Grizzlies? We knew that 6 power play had to be what connected, and Reed Lepster came up big. He was all alone in the left circle. He gets the game winner 17-28 in with Genev and Friesen getting the assists. And how about this? The Grizzlies have scored 16 goals in the first 2 games of this series. And when Utah needed their big guns to come up and make a huge play in the third period, the Grizzlies' best players came up big. Final score, Utah 7, Tahoe 4. As the Grizzlies are now 2-3 against the Night Monsters this year, but what an incredible third period. As the Grizzlies just came up huge. 5 goals in the final 4 minutes and 42 seconds of regulation. Unbelievable. Grizzlies 7, Tahoe 4. We'll come back with the post-game story in 30 seconds from now. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Final score from Tahoe Blue Event Center. It's the Utah Grizzlies 7 and the Tahoe Night Monsters 4. As the Grizzlies put together an incredible third period comeback as they scored 5 goals in the final 4 minutes and 42 seconds of regulation. Grizzlies got on the board first as Riley Connors in the first shift of the game scored his 8th of the year, according to the ECHL box score, which has more errors than Jose Offerman during the 1995 Dodgers season. If Riley Connors scored unassisted, I'm Abraham Lincoln. Genev and Timofeyev should have picked up the assist there, but right now it's listed as unassisted. 42 seconds in, Riley Connors gave Utah a 1-0 lead, and the Grizzlies continued to get off to a quick start on the road. Utah is now 12-2-1 when scoring first in road games this season. Tahoe got a power play and capitalized as Luke Adams scored 5:50 in, with Kevin Wall and Nate Callan getting the assists. And then later in the first period, Stepan Timofeyev, who was appearing in the game for the first time since January 9th, he picked up a match penalty for slew footing 17:46 in. And Tahoe scored a late first period power play goal as Trent Zwick got his 17th of the year. Poliani and Pitters each picked up the assists. Tahoe led 2-1 after 1 period. Unfortunately, they've got the shots all sorts of messed up. It looked like the Grizzlies had 11 shots in the first period and Tahoe had 10. 8:45 into the second period, Grizzlies tied it up as John Gillette, as he was falling down, fired the puck past Paperny, as Gillette got his 8th of the year. Aiden Hansen-Bucata and Mikey Colella with the assists. Tahoe retook the lead 3-2 as Jake McGrew scored 13:37 in. Bailey and Derflinger with the assists. Early in the third period, Tahoe extended the lead to 4-2 as Kyler Wall got his 12th of the year, with Casey Bailey picking up an assist. Tahoe led 4-2 going into the final segment of play. Evan Friesen redirected a Luke Antonacci shot 15-18 in as Antonacci fired away from the right point. Friesen, for the second straight game, redirects one into the back of the net as he got his 13th of the year. Antonacci and Tyler Gratton with the assists. And then 40 seconds later, the Grizzlies tied it up as 4-4 as Riley Connors got the puck in the right wing and fired a backhand shot past Paperny. Yevdokimov and Salem each picked up an assist. And so just like that, we were tied at 4 with 4 minutes and 2 seconds left in regulation. Grizzlies got a power play as Trent Zwick got a boarding minor 16:57 in. And at that point, the Grizzlies were 0 for 5 on the power plays. They had picked up their 6th power play chance on the Zwick boarding minor. So you knew that if the Grizzlies were going to get a victory, they were going to have to somehow take advantage of that power play opportunity. And they came through. As the puck was on the right side, Grizzlies were able to get it across to Reed Lepster. Lepster was all alone in the left wing, and time again, Reed Lepster is just connected for the Grizzlies. He had 2 goals on Wednesday night. EP scored the game winner, 17:28 into the third period as he picked up his 25th of the year. Lepster has been one of the best goal scorers in the league, and Lepster connected, stick side pass Paperny to score the game winner, which was a power play tally, 17:28 in, as the Grizzlies have 10 power play goals in their last 8 games. Tyler Gratton added an empty netter, and then later on in the third period, Reed Lepster, with his second of the game, he scored an empty netter from the right wing. And just like that, the Grizzlies scored 5 goals in the span of about 4 minutes as they come away with a 7-4 victory. For Utah, they scored 5 goals on 14 shots in the third period. Remember, they had 4 goals on 5 shots in the third period on Wednesday. So over the 2 games in this series, the Grizzlies have scored 9 third-period goals. Obviously that December 21st game, the Grizzlies had 6 third-period goals against Tulsa. And so, the Grizzlies have had stretches late in games, when they've needed it the most and they've needed their best players to step forward and make a play. Grizzlies have done so, especially in road games trailing in the third period. So, what a comeback for the Grizzlies. It looked like when Tahoe was up 4-2, they were well in control of the game. You knew that at some point somebody was going to have to buckle down deep and just come up and make a play. I think that, Grizzlies fans, especially as you're seeing one power play chance after another go by the wayside, I think the Grizzlies fans were a little bit worried that tonight might just not be their night, especially since they've had so much success on the power play. A team like Tahoe would come into the game with that focus and making sure that they didn't, let the Grizzlies get rolling on the power play. But all they needed was an open shooter, and they were able to get that with Reed Lepster on the left side. And I don't know there's anybody else I'd rather have with an open shot than Lepster, especially from that left wing. And he came through with the big power play goal. And then obviously, with the 1-goal lead, the Grizzlies were able to get 2 on the empty net. So 7-4 is the final here tonight. And the Grizzlies, so far in the 2 games of this series, they have outscored the Night Monsters 16-10. So how about that? 16 goals over the last 2 games, and the Grizzlies have scored 20. They've scored 36 goals in their last 8 games. So they're averaging 4.5 goals over their last 8 games. The Grizzlies really didn't produce that much offense in the 3-game series at Maverick Center against Greenville. But otherwise, the Grizzlies have really been strong as they have now won 4 of their last 5 road games, as they won 2 out of 3 games in the Rapid City series a couple weeks ago, and they've won each of the first 2 games of this series as they get a 7-4 victory over the Tahoe Night Monsters. Let's see if we can catch the 3 stars of the game. Unfortunately, they haven't posted them on the ECHL box score, and this ECHL box score has got so many errors to it that it's almost laughable. We're trying to keep track of the stats of the game, and they're going fast and furious, and it's just clear that there's so many errors in this thing that, it's just so bush league. It's not even funny. But nevertheless, we're having some fun here as we're in the Grizzlies lobby here in the Professional Green Studios, and we're just trying to have fun. Obviously, this camera feed makes things very frustrating, and it's just, we want to do things at the highest level. After all, this is not some fun little hobby for me. I'm trying to get to the National Hockey League, and when you see things like this box score being so wildly inaccurate, and to see the video feed that we got over the first 2 games of this series, like, trying to have some fun, because we don't have fun, then we're just going to drive ourselves crazy, because we want to do things at the highest level. We want to do things at an NHL standard, and unfortunately, you can only do so much with what we're given, and unfortunately, we're not given a whole lot in terms of a proper feed to be able to view the game from and to be able to describe it to the listening audience. But hey, if the Grizzlies can come away with a 7-4 victory, we'll take that any day of the week. So tomorrow night, the Grizzlies will be going for a 3-game sweep as they take on the Tahoe Night Monsters in the last of the series. Tomorrow night's going to be an 8 o'clock start in the Mountain Time Zone. Pre-game coverage begins at 7:50. Well, we'll talk then. Crowd of 4,001 was over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, and the Utah Grizzlies come up with a 7-4 victory as they scored 5 goals in a 4-minute span late in the third period. Evan Friesen is listed with 1 goal and 1 assist. Riley Connors with 2 goals. Connors had 9 shots to lead the Grizzlies tonight, and he has 4 goals and 1 assist so far in this series. Reed Lepster's got 2 goals in back-to-back games in this series, and Tyler Gratton with 1 goal and 1 assist. The big plus-minus performers for the Grizzlies include Luke Antonacci. He was a +2, as was Colby Enns, Riley Connors. Danny Genev was also a +2 for the Grizzlies in the victory against the Tahoe Night Monsters. One of the big stories was Sage Weinstein returned to the Grizzlies after a stint in the American Hockey League with the Colorado Eagles. And until Stepan Timofeyev got tossed from the game for a match penalty, it was great to see him return to the lineup for the first time since January 9th. Well, it looks like we don't have the 3 stars posted yet, so let's see if we can invent our own 3 stars. Number 1 star, we'll give it to Reed Lepster, who scored 2 goals, including the game winner, 17:28 in. He is our number 1 star. Number 2 star goes to Riley Connors, who had 2 goals. And the number 3 star, we'll give it to Evan Friesen, who scored a big goal to get the ball rolling in the third period as he redirected the Luke Antonacci shot 15-18 into the third. And Friesen also won some big faceoffs for the Grizzlies in the final 5 minutes of regulation. Next broadcast will be on Saturday night, 7:50 pregame show, face-off just after 8 p.m. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream, and that's to someday get to the National Hockey League. How about that third period comeback? Grizzlies get a 7-4 victory as they have scored 16 goals in their last 2 games. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.